What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Big Shred Podcast, episode 17. I am your host, John Matos. What the fuck is going on? Thank you for joining us on another Saturday evening. I've got a new motherfucking microphone and I am way stoked on it. So if you're hearing this and it sounds better than the last 16 episodes, that is the reason. So big shout out to Kyle from Bad Wolves, who hooked me up with a great guy at Sweetwater, where I was able to get this pretty dope SM7B microphone. It's the first stream we're doing with it, so I will let you guys know, or you can let me know how it goes, and then I'm obviously going to be recommending this thing to everybody who is trying to do the streaming thing or whatever. So actually looks like we've got some people in the chat already that are telling me it sounds better, so fantastic. Appreciate the feedback, Nick. Awesome. So we've got a great episode for you today. I've got Johann Meyer, who does front of house and mix engineering for Gojira, as well as my good buddy Cameron Losch, who drums for Born of Osiris. We've got some great episodes of the show coming up next week as well. So next week's actually going to be 3 episodes. We're doing a special on Friday. So Wednesday, I will be with Drusif Reynolds. So he does his own Drusif musical endeavors. He's in the band Grey Lotus. He does all kinds of cool shit. I'm sure you guys know Drusif. We've got a show on Friday that's going to feature actually all 3, I guess 3 technically, ex and current Abiotic vocalists. So Ray Jimenez, our original vocalist, will be on the show. Travis, you guys know Travis, and then Dickie Allen, who did vocals for us for a time. So it'll be those 3 guys. We'll have them all on together and should be a good time. And then on Saturday, I will be on with Brian Moore, who is my A&R guy over at Ormsby Guitars. He also plays in the band The Browning, and he does some crew stuff for some bands as well. So it'll be a good, nice full week of shows. So if you're hanging, definitely come on by. As usual, hang out in the chat, ask some questions. Now, the show is brought to you by Ormsby Guitars. So if you're looking for a new shred machine, look no further than Australia's own Ormsby Guitars. Again, they've got 6, 7, and 8-string models, multi-scale and standard scale. They've got a ton of cool different shapes and finishes, and some guitars with like 27 frets and shit. So, again, Ormsby's got a guitar for players of all genres. I definitely suggest checking them out. They've got artists like myself. I play a Goliath headless 7-string, Rusty Cooley, Dino Cazares, along with a ton of other awesome players. I'm currently playing, again, the headless model, which I absolutely love, and they should be coming out with a run of new models pretty soon. Visit their page, ormsbyguitars.com. You can check them out on Reverb as well. Ormsby Guitars, created by musicians first, with ergonomics, tonality, and the modern player in mind. The show is also brought to you by Fuck the Band Trapped, and also Fuck Murdering Racist Cops. So for everybody out there right now protesting and grieving the terrible murder of George Floyd, I and speak for the band as well that we're grieving and feeling those same feelings with you. Great. So we also have some great stuff going on in regards to masks supporting COVID relief funds. So we've got about 30 of them left. I'm going to show you guys a picture here if you're just catching the show for the first time. We've got these masks up on our indie merch store, so you can visit indiemerchstore.com/b/abiotic. Pick one of these up. They're double-sided, and 50% of the proceeds will be going to COVID-19 relief funds. You can also check out forthenomads.org. They've got a really, really cool silent auction going on. Tons and tons of different artists and bands that have donated some great items to that silent auction, and I myself am donating a guest guitar solo. So if you go on there, you can bid on the guest guitar solo, and if you're looking for something for your project or something like that, I will do a guest guitar solo for your band. So that being said, looks like we covered everything aside from following us on the socials. So again, you can follow the podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. The show, if you can't catch the whole thing tonight, it will be up on YouTube, and then you'll be able to listen to audio versions of this wherever you stream podcasts. So Spotify, I'm working on getting it on the Apple Podcast, and there's a few others as well. But yeah, Spotify is the main kind of dig right now, as well as YouTube. Now, without further ado, I'll go ahead and bring on our first guest for the night, and that is Johann Meyer. Johann, how are you doing, bud?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, there you go. You got the unmute. I say it every time. Like it's like
Yeah.
80% of people that just don't remember to go on unmute. So thanks so much
Well,
for
it's
coming
kind of
on,
fun.
man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, dude. It's super cool.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I know I kind of hit you up out of the blue. I know we were talking a little bit about you perhaps getting some involvement in the new abiotic and stuff like that. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on, and how is quarantine treating you? Where are you, and what's been going on in your world, man?
So I'm in Brooklyn, New York. So probably like the worst place to be right now.
Yeah.
Um, but it's not too bad. I live in a great neighborhood, so it's okay. But I've been staying in my house since like 2 months now or something.
Wow.
Um, I see a few friends sometimes, like once a week, and I go outside. There's a park around my house, and I just went for a run actually, and it's crazy because now the weather is starting to be better.
Yep.
It was crowded, crazy.
Oh man.
So I don't know what's gonna happen with that. Um, that's pretty much the only thing we talk with my friend is like what's gonna happen, you know?
Yeah. Were you
And yeah.
supposed to? So are you living? Is that where you're stationed and you're living in New York, or do you go back and forth from New York back home?
No, I live in New York.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
since few years now, like
Nice.
since 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, that was just easier because like when Joe started his recording studio, obviously he needed someone to help him like for like the billing of it and recording and all the technical stuff, and
Yeah.
I was put down to do it. And then I mean, I don't know if you guys know New York, but it's a awesome city. It's extremely expensive, so that sucks.
Oh yeah.
But I kind of get caught, and I just stayed because like I got awesome friends. It's a really cool life, and it works really good with touring because when you're not on tour, you get that kind of like you're kind of depressed because you go home,
Oh yeah.
and New York, there's always new things to see and new things to do. So it's a good balance.
Yeah.
Now that we're not touring for this year, I don't know how. We'll see. Ask me like in a few months, and we'll see if if I still like New York. But New York is super crazy now because it's like dead. It's starting to come back slowly, but
Yeah.
for 2 months it was dead. Like no bars, no restaurant, no nothing.
Wow.
Like no cars, no. Dude, last time I took the train, that was like 2 months ago, and yeah, I just pretty much stayed like in my neighborhood, my house, and yeah, kind
Yeah.
of weird.
Fucking don't take the train right now, man. That sounds awful. Yeah, I'm not too far from you. I'm in Massachusetts, so I was living.
All right, okay, yeah,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
living like 20 minutes north of Boston, and then I moved out closer to Worcester, if you're familiar with like the Palladium
oh yeah,
and that venue and
yeah,
stuff. So
the Palladium.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
live not too far from there now. And yeah, here's a little rough as well, but yeah, I was just thinking when we were talking earlier, you were saying in New York, I was like, yeesh. Hopefully, hopefully it's been going smooth and
Well, I didn't get sick. I
that
don't
it's a
know
win.
anyone like close friends
Yeah,
that got sick.
good.
So so far,
Yeah.
yeah,
Good. Yeah, I think you got to keep being safe. You got to keep just following the directions of the scientists who, for the most part, are the voices of reason here in this
yeah,
country.
yeah.
So did you guys? You said obviously touring for the remainder of the year has been pretty much canceled. Did
Yeah.
you guys have some tours that you can talk about that were canceled or postponed?
Yeah. So what date are we? We're like May. I think we were supposed to be in Europe right now. doing
Really?
like like the summer fest tour, and
Yep.
we had like amazing show, like some amazing headlines in France. We
Yeah.
had like really good spots on the downloads in
Oh
UK,
man.
like main stage, but like pretty close to the headliner.
Yeah.
I can't remember all the shows, but what I remember, like it was supposed to be like an awesome summer.
Yeah.
And then we had like after the summer, we had like we're supposed to have like 10 days break and going on tour in US with the Deftones for like 6 or 7 weeks. But
Oh man. I know.
this is obviously postponed, so
Yeah, I was crushed when I saw that it got postponed, man, because I was waiting.
yeah.
I know I told you I was like, I'm gonna see you at that show because I was dying to go to that show.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's something like the Gojira did so, and Deftones, the guys, like it's something they've been talking about like since forever.
yeah.
Like since I'm working with them, like they're like, oh, we should tour together. We should tour together, and that was the year, and that was like everything was flawless and perfect. And
Oh man.
but it's gonna be next year anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the good thing. It didn't get canceled. It got postponed. So
No,
if you're just
no.
hearing about this tour now, keep your eyes fucking open to when it's coming back, because I for sure will not be missing it. Um, yeah. Did you guys? So was there anything else going on the rest of the year? It was you guys supposed to be in Europe and then
Well,
Deftones.
yeah, I think after Deftones, they were booking headline tour
Oh, nice.
in Europe or US for a new album, but this is not happening as well.
Oh, right.
And
The tour you guys were gonna take a biotic on, right?
well,
No,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
kidding.
Yeah. I'm
No.
sorry, dude. I'm sorry, but
No, no, that's fucking awesome to hear. So yeah, that's definitely something that was on my mind because I'm pretty sure I'd read somewhere that they were working or you guys were working on a new record. Are you
yeah.
are you going to be mixing that one as well?
No,
Okay,
it's gonna be mixed by awesome mixer who mixed a million records.
nice.
And yeah, but no, now everything is like kind of the planning changed, and I don't have much news about what's up with that. But yeah, new album is on the way. That's for sure.
Killer. That's
Yeah,
fucking awesome to hear. So how long
I
have
did. I
you?
did. I'm sorry. I did
That's
all
okay.
the engineering, recording, and we did everything at Silvercord again. Like same thing that Magma.
Yeah,
Uh, but this time we're just like let's give that to someone else to mix it because like this recording was extremely long.
yeah,
And as you know, like you have a band, like after a while you kind of lose focus, and it's good to give the baby like to someone else and
for
and
sure.
and make the magic.
Yeah, you get that ear fatigue and you start
Yeah,
missing things because you're so inside of it that you can't really see it from the outside.
yeah, exactly. And then you record, you do stuff, you add layers, then you do a rough mix, and you're like start doubting about, oh man, I don't know if the guitar tone is right,
Right.
and start overthinking and going crazy, and actually you just send to someone else and you get an email and it's like, oh dude, sounds awesome. Oh yeah, cool.
Yep, yep. Yeah, that's how we're bands are typically used to being spoiled. Just like get in the studio and here now you do something with this. Make this make
Yeah,
make this shit sound good. So
yeah.
how long have you been working with the band?
Oh, I started in 2012,
Wow.
so 8 years now. Yeah, well,
Holy
yeah,
shit, man.
time goes fast, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
insane. So how did you get into the fold? Did they reach out to you or how did that come about?
So I'm from this tiny country we call Switzerland. Not Sweden though, Switzerland. That's the other one. We don't have any famous metal band. Oh, maybe except like Celtic Frost and
Yeah.
some that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Um, so I've been working with bands there since I don't know, like 2002, 3, 4. I was working in a venue, then I did like some work in a audio company, like PA and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I used to work with a band called Kruger. Amazing band, you should check them out. They don't exist anymore.
Okay.
Um, and they're friend with Gojira. and one day we went in the Gujarat where they live, like close. And they liked what I did, and then we played the show like in the shittiest like place ever. There was like a restaurant or something, but there was a decent PA and stuff. And I was mixing
Yeah.
from stage also.
Oh,
They didn't want
wow.
to put the they didn't want to put the board in the crowd. They were too afraid or whatever.
Oh, shit.
But still, they liked what I did. And then I was mixing another band, and we did the show supporting Gojira. And at that time, they were looking for an engineer. They had like few people in mind, and they just called me, and I was like, yeah, sure. And they told me like, you got a week to prove yourself, so don't be mad at us if it doesn't work.
Oh, man.
But we leave you a week. So I went on tour. First show was Gojira opening for Metallica in the stadium.
Whoa. No
So that
pressure,
was
dude.
my
No
first show.
pressure.
That was my first, yeah, that was my first show in the stadium because I've never mixed in a stadium before.
Holy shit.
Um, and it went pretty good. And then we did a few other shows during that week, and they were happy and not like 100% happy, but they were like, no, I think that could work, and I'm still there.
Yeah, you
I'm
did
still with
you did
them. Yeah, yeah,
something right. So
yeah. Well, yeah.
that's killer, man. So what was it like for you going into that stadium? Were you like, I'm gonna fucking rock this shit, like I'm making this is my bitch, or were you like, did you have the butterflies?
Off. Honestly, I think I went like kind of autopilot. I
Okay.
was like, kind of focused on the board,
Yeah.
not really looking at the stage, and just try like to be super focused on the sound
Nice.
and try to do the best I can. I think that's the thing is like I think it's a good um, place of mind to be. Just like just try to do the best you can. And if you try hard enough, usually people they're gonna like it.
Yeah, yeah. So looks like your buddy, hopefully I'm saying his name correctly, Raphael, is in the chat. He says, I remember that Kruger
Ah,
show with the desk on stage like it was yesterday.
yeah, that's the drummer of the band though. That's
Nice.
the drummer of Kruger.
Well, shout out, man. I'm definitely going to check that band out. So Kruger, especially if you're in the chat, check them out as well. So how did you get into sound engineering in general? Were you a musician like to start with as well? Like, do you play any instruments or anything?
Not really. I always like played a little bit of drums and guitars.
Okay.
I used to be a DJ as well, but like with the record players, like
Yeah.
vinyl shit.
Okay.
Um, I was always interested into knobs and microphones and stuff.
Yeah.
And as I said before, I was working in a tiny venue in my hometown, and like many other dudes, like one day, like the house engineer was sick or something, and I was hanging out. I was like, "Do you want to take the board?" And I was like, "All right, let's give it a shot." And since then, I never stopped. And people, I mean, bands started to call me because they're like, "Oh yeah, we like what you do live. Do you want to work with us?" And it's I mean it's like many people in that industry.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen like overnight. It's a long process.
Yeah. It's opportunity and just being prepared as well, and kind of there's a lot of like fake it till you make it kind of shit too. Like,
Yeah. Actually, we were talking about that with my friend Raf the other day, and there's also a part of luck
yeah,
that's important. So you kind of have to be lucky in a way, but also you need to know what you do. It's like being
yeah.
lucky is not enough.
No, especially doing what you do, man. Like I have such an appreciation for it because I feel like it's a science, and I've got a really good buddy who's a front of house engineer as well, and we brought him on his first tour, and I've seen him grow and really turn into a legitimate engineer.
Yeah.
And it's just like I get behind the board with him, and I'm just like, oh fuck, like I could not do this. Like I could not do this. So I know in the realm of touring and fans and bands and all that shit that front of house engineers that can be a little bit thankless. So I want to make sure that we appreciate what you guys do, because without
Cool,
you,
man.
yeah, the band does not sound good. We have to deal with house sound guys without you guys. So
Yeah. They're not all bad, you know. There's
They're
some.
not.
I've seen some really good house sound guy. And what I wanted to say is like, man, I couldn't play on stage, man. I will shit myself
Oh
right away.
yeah.
Like, it's not something for me. Like, I like to be in the dark, you know. Like, it's. I don't feel like extremely comfortable like to be on stage in front of
Yeah.
people and you know
Yeah, it's
all that
it
stuff.
it takes a specific kind of personality for sure,
Yeah.
and that goes the same with, and I was gonna ask you as well, that goes the same with touring. So was Gojira your first tour also?
No, I've toured
Okay.
before in Europe with like way smaller band.
Yeah.
But that was my first tour at that level, you know, like tour
Yeah.
bus. Like I was super lucky because when I started with them, they were already touring with a tour bus.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously they did like many years of like shitty van
Yeah.
and you know like cheap hotel
Yep.
and but when I started like in 2012, they already have the budget for a tour bus.
Nice.
So it's you know it's comfy. It's not like
Yeah, it is.
shitty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one tour that we did in a bus was in Europe, and oh yeah, I'm spoiled ever since. Ever since I get to sleep in a bed
Yeah.
and fucking wake up in a new fucking country is crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but so how was that transition for you from like working at a venue and then going on tour? It that is a skill in itself, like being on a tour. You know.
Yeah, so in between, I worked a few years for that, you know, like a PA company.
Yep.
Uh, so, and that was a really good experience because it's a hard job as well, you know.
Yeah.
It's as hard as being on tour. So it kind of shaped myself, like to just take it.
Yeah.
And being on tour is like, it's awesome. It's the best thing you can do because you pretty much just mixing. And when you
That's
work
true.
in a sound company, you know, you set up the PA and everything, and you hope like the band doesn't have an engineer, so you're the house guy and you can mix.
Yeah.
Um, but what it takes to make it, I think it's pretty similar. It's like very long hours.
Yeah.
It's you kind of have to be on top of everything all the time. You don't really have much room to screw. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's like so that was good that I worked um, in that company, and at the same time I was touring with like small bands, all local bands, doing like local shows and doing a bit of recording as well. I mean, doing a lot of everything at the same time.
Nice. So yeah, so
Yeah,
cutting your teeth in the local scene, and then also,
yeah,
yeah, there's a there's a lot of guys that go straight to the bus, and you kind of lose that appreciation for how difficult it is in the
yeah.
beginning, you know.
Sometimes I almost want to do like a van tour like back in the old days, like just to
Johann, don't
because
tempt
it's
me, bro. Don't tempt me.
no, what I remember, like especially touring with bands like Kruger, is like being like 6 or 7 dudes in a van. It is like it's so much fun. But it's hard. It's like
Yep.
you don't sleep. It's long hours, but it's a lot of fun as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
Definitely.
different fun. It's a different fun than being a tour bus with a bigger band and you know.
Yeah, yeah, it for sure. I can definitely see what you're saying, and like the tour we did was with coincidentally Suffocation and
Yeah,
with Cattle Decapitation too, and we shared a bus with those guys, and man, that was some good times. Like just everybody passing around a bottle of vodka every night until it was done, and
yeah.
seeing who was left at the end of the night.
So we don't do that with Gojira. It's because we all I mean we're like all older now,
Yeah,
and you can't. I mean at that level you can't get shit faced every night. It's like it's impossible. It's like the days are too long. There's too much
yep.
thing. Like now we got a truck following a truck or 2 trucks following our bus. So we
Wow.
got a ton of gear. So the days start very early and they finish very late. So
That's
you kind of have to stay healthy and don't drink too much.
Yeah, yeah, but but do you like you let loose on the days off on the crew
Yeah, yeah,
weekends
yeah.
as they call
But
it?
you know, we have a beer or two like after the show when we're
Yeah.
back on the bus and stuff. You have to. It's like after like doing a show, like engineers or crew or musicians or whatever. It's so much adrenaline and stuff. You need something to cool down because you
Yeah.
can go straight to bed like this.
No, no. So
You,
so
s-
what is a
you need
day?
you
Yeah.
need some you need to cool down.
So what is a day like for you as a front of house engineer for a band like Gojira doing those bigger tours? Like what time does your day start? What can you like walk me through a day, see what it's like?
So it depends the tour, but for a headline tour, for example, usually load in at 10 a.m.
Wow.
Then we got stage setup. So we carry like the lightning package, like the floor lightning package. So this is a big part of the truck. Sometimes video. Actually, now it's most of the time video. On the audio side, we carry like my console, the monitor console, microphone, stands, cables, speeder. I mean, everything but PA. We
Wow.
also carry like all the power and stuff. We just need like the main to hook up to the main power of the building, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Wow.
So it takes a while to get set up. Then we do lunch around noon, 1. Then after lunch, we do like a crew line check. So I got the techs playing for me, which is super cool. And when I insist, sometimes they even play a song together, which
Oh,
is
nice.
awesome. And then the bands come on stage around like 3. Sound check at the beginning of the tour. The sound check is a little longer with them, but when the tour is going, usually they play a song or two, and then they're happy. And then my day, usually on a break, but like tour manager, production manager, even monitor guy, they have to take care of like the support bands, so they
Yep.
keep working. So me, I just like go have a nap in the bus, or always got some stuff to do on my Pro Tools, so I do some editing or whatever,
Yeah.
and then showtime around 10, up to 11:30, and then load out till 1 a.m. Then go back to the bus, 1 or 2 beers, bed, and do it again.
Do it all again.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, dude. So you're, with breaks and everything, you're putting in like a fucking 15-hour day at the end of the day, you know?
yeah, yeah. But
Man.
it's, I mean, that's cool with Gojira because we're a big crew. So
Yeah.
I remember like a few years ago, we all have like 2 or 3 jobs to do,
Yeah.
and that was insane. That was really insane. Now just pretty much just do mixing and helping setting up the stage on the audio side, and so but it's still long days, but it's not as
Yeah.
hard that it used to be.
Not as intensive if you're, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I've had quite a few crew guys on the podcast, and that's was one of the main things that they were saying that helped them in the beginning is just learn as many jobs as you can, make yourself as valuable as
yeah,
you possibly can, but the days will burn you out.
yeah. When I started with them, I was doing drum tech as well
Okay.
sometimes in front of house. The light guy was doing guitar tech.
Wow.
So that was insane for him because like in a festival, like you have to set up like off stage,
Yep.
then you push it, then you had to run front of house trying to
Oh
program some
man.
cues and stuff. And yeah, that was quite that was almost another world compared to what we have now. Now just like
Yeah.
we all carry our own console, so it's just a matter of setting up. Everything is set up. I just have to recall, make sure everything goes in the right place, tune the PA, and that should be good.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit about the Red Rocks performance that Gojira just dropped. So that was on tour with Opeth and
Devin Townsend.
yeah, and Devin Townsend.
Yeah,
What was that
yeah.
tour like, man? Was that
That
as
was
incredible
awesome,
as it
dude.
sounds?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, actually that was pretty. I think we did only 10 days, and that was like 6, 7 shows, so it wasn't that
Yeah.
long. But that was our first like really big production that we carried,
Yeah.
because we're sharing it with Opeth and Devin. Um, but yeah, that was awesome, and Devin Townsend is the best dude ever. It's like it's man touring with him is. I've mixed few shows for him,
Oh, nice.
and dude, it's like it's super easy to mix first, and it's so funny, man. Like the sound check are hilarious. You're just laughing your ass off like the entire sound check.
I've
And he's
heard.
super good, you know. It's
Yeah,
just like when you
yeah.
start playing and singing, you just do nothing and it sounds awesome.
I've heard. I haven't met him yet, but I know, a lot of people who are good buddies with him, and I just hear so many good things that he's just like the most
Yeah,
hilarious fucking guy, and he's super sweet, and
yeah,
so yeah, hope to meet him soon, and maybe even get him on the show at some
yeah,
point. But that's
yeah.
awesome
I
to
mean,
hear.
he's super open, like to talk to people. You know, he's not that kind of guy. Like,
Yeah,
oh no, fuck you, stuff. Is like, is like me. He likes to talk about stuff.
nice, rad. So that I was watching that. As soon as they dropped it, I was waiting for it to drop, and the mix was fucking phenomenal. So
Thank you,
big
man.
props on that. And so you were telling me a little bit about it before, but you mix that right there in your living room there.
Yeah. Even I think on the show it's credited that I mixed it in at Silver Cord, which is true
Yeah.
because I started there like a year ago
Wow.
but so yeah, and again, so they were supposed to release that show like way before
Yeah.
because it's a show from 2017.
Right.
But then it goes like you write an album and it takes a little longer and you got other stuff to do and touring and like you have to go on tour with Slipknot for 7 weeks and stuff like that.
I know it's such a
Um,
bummer, dude.
yeah. And so the band and the label were like, okay, let's release that Red Rock shows because that was at the very beginning of the pandemic. And I was like, I went to the studio, I brought the session back home because I didn't want it to commute to the studio every day
Yeah.
in the New York subway. You don't really want to do that.
No, no.
And last year I invested a bit of money into my home studio in my home, so it's perfect. That was perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, dude, it sounded fantastic. I was so excited to see it. And I hope there's some more stuff like that in the bag somewhere that they plan on dropping, or you guys plan on dropping.
Yeah, there's some stuff coming. I don't know when. I'm working on some more stuff right now.
Nice.
Um, I don't know when they're gonna come out with that. I don't know how if they're gonna release the Red Rocks like as a Blu-ray or something, or maybe they're gonna release it with the new album. That's the label. They don't know. They have like a whole like plan for that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I'm not aware about. But I know the band wants to. They want to release like more content, for the fans and stuff. So I'm working on some stuff.
That'd be great. I will be waiting on that with fucking bated breath. I am
Yeah.
for the people that know me personally and on the show or whatever. I am a gigantic Gojira fan, and the whole band is. So, yeah, I will fucking watch that every single day when it comes out. So Magma, dude, when that came out, one of my favorite albums of that year by far. I still listen to it, and I honestly I didn't know you mixed it, and then I was doing my due diligence for this like I am supposed to, and I saw that you fucking mixed that album as well. So what was that like, taking on, after working with Gojira for so many years, and then did they ask you, hey, would you like to mix the record too, or how did that come about?
So I did all the engineering and recording on that album as well. And they were planning to get it mixed by someone else. It didn't really work out at the end. So Joe was like, you know what? I think we're gonna mix it. So I mixed it with Joe. It's not only me and
Okay.
every Gojira album is Joe is like almost sitting on the mixer seat. It's like so the way it works, they just like is he knows exactly where he wants to go. So it's like, okay, I feel the guitars are a little like this. I want them more like that. So your job, which is like a mixer job, to
Yeah.
figure it out how to make it happen.
Right.
But he has that producer role, like where he's leading the tone where he wants to go.
Okay.
Um, on and so that's what he wanted to do. He was like, dude, I like the way you engineer stuff, you mix stuff. I think together we can do a good mix. And the label was like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. We cool with that. And
Awesome.
so that's pretty much when I moved to New York. I was still living in Switzerland at that time,
Yeah.
and we mixed it. It took a while to mix it, because when you two people mixing, sometimes you don't agree, and it takes
Right.
a while to get it right.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when you add the other band members, it's just like, oh God.
Yeah. Those mixed
But no,
notes
I
get
think
deep.
I'm really, I'm honestly, yeah. And it's cool because we had a pretty good idea of where we wanted to go, like something a little more, organic, if we can say that.
Right.
Um, and I think that's the way it sounds. And yeah, I think it's that kind of album where it will sound the same like in 15 years. I'm not sure it will age.
I
Um,
yeah, I
yeah,
100% agree. That
yeah,
whole album is a banger.
yeah. Wait for the next one.
Oh,
It's gonna be the big one.
really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, I know you can't talk too much about it. Is it?
No.
Nope. Um, then I won't ask you. I'm gonna be a gentleman.
Is
So
it? I can see like I'm pretty much in the dark. Do you still see me like
I see
pretty good?
you're a little bit in the dark, but I feel like it's fitting for how you described yourself. So you,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
like to be in the shadows a little bit. Somebody in the
yeah.
chat mentioned that actually. But if you've got a light that you want to turn on, by all means. Um,
My apartment is pretty dark, and I think everything is on right now.
that's all right. You
So,
you set you
oh,
set you
wait a
set the
wait a
vibe.
minute.
Oh,
I don't know if it will change anything, but maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
a
Yeah.
little bit. So how does your approach differ in the studio versus live? I don't know if there's too many, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. If there's too many engineers that do both, that if it, that do live sound and then also do studio engineering. So how does your approach change if it does when you're in those two different kinds of dynamics?
Yeah, you're right. There's not too many engineers doing that. If you ask me, I think if you're a live engineer, the best thing you can do is do a bit of studio. I'm not saying like making a career in studio
Yeah.
whatsoever, but studio, it's you learn so much more stuff and tricks and techniques, and also you train your ear much. You get better at hearing stuff, and at placing stuff in space, and working
Yeah.
all this aspect of mixing, and not just like making it loud.
Yeah.
There's like so many other stuff to think about, and in studio, it's really where you can learn that because you get time. It's
Yeah.
just like live, you never have time. You just
Yeah.
have to make it the best you can in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
uh, but other than that, to me, it's at the end, it's mixing a band. And the way approach live, I'm trying to get that kind of a studio quality live as well.
Right.
I like when people saying like, oh, the live sounded like a fucking CD and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because that's what I'm looking for. I know there's other engineers like they want having the super, like over the top, super loud stuff.
Yeah.
I like when everything is very controlled and sounds, punchy and in your face. And that's something I learned a lot doing in studio as well, because uh, the main difference, and actually what I wanted to say is like the main difference is, to me, live, you have a control on the volume when you're the engineer.
Yeah.
So if you're not happy about the mix, and if you don't have like too many volume restrictions,
Yep.
you just push the volume and it sounds bigger, like louder and more in your face.
Yeah.
In studio, you don't have that. Like it's the dude listening to your mix or the band or whatever, they can control the volume. So you have to make sure at pretty much any volume, like it sounds punchy and big and everything and blah blah. And you learn those techniques when you do studio. It's not something you will learn live, but when you get those stuff, you can apply that live, and And then it's awesome. Like I remember a show we did like 2 years ago in Switzerland, the Montreux Jazz Festival, and you got like a super strict dB limit, which is like 100 dB
Wow.
over 30 minutes average. And after the show, there's some people told me like, dude, you fucking asshole, you went over. This is not cool. And I was like, look at the dB meter, 99.9. They're like, how the fuck you do? It feels like twice louder. Like, yeah, there's like, I don't know. It's just like there's some. It's not even tricks. It's just like knowing what you do, EQing the way it should be, and having like a few tricks with compression
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say the right amount of
saturation and stuff,
compression and
you know.
shit.
Yeah, but it's pretty much the same thing that than in studio. It's the same approach to me.
Gotcha. Yeah, Charles in the chat here says clarity over loudness. So,
Yeah,
and to
yeah,
go back to what you were saying, so I saw Gojira in Austin, Texas. It was, I forget if it's 2016 or 2017. I'm pretty sure it's 2016. It was on my birthday. I was very excited. I traveled for it from Florida, and yeah, I had that experience of like, wow, this sounds like a fucking record, like that I'm listening to this
yeah,
band. So
yeah.
it was on tour with Tesseract,
All
and
right, yeah.
yeah, so
Awesome band too. Like they sound really good live, you know?
yeah, I'll
Yeah,
admit before that show, I had heard a couple of songs. I'd never really gave them a solid chance. I saw that show and I
yeah.
was blown away.
Dude, that's the kind of band that plays before Gojira, and I'm like, oh boy, I better like, I better, because you have to be the best, like you're the
Oh yeah,
headliner,
yep,
you have to sound the best. And I'm not that kind of dude who's gonna cap the band before, like
right,
you're not allowed to play at, over this, blah blah blah. I don't
yeah,
care.
yeah,
And it forced me to do the best I can. And I remember with Tesseract, I was like, all right, it's fucking legit what they're doing. The engineer is really good. Yep.
yeah. What
Yeah.
a great band, and that show again. I've done my fair share of tours and gone to shows and whatever, and that show will like forever stick out to me from
Yeah.
seeing Gojira and Tesseract together. So do you have any favorite, obviously aside from Gojira, do you have some favorite sounding live bands and albums, from your front of house engineer perspective and then also like your recording engineer perspective?
Live. To me, there's two or three bands that are over everyone.
Yeah.
For Tool, they sound like even better than the record.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, I saw them in New York like a few months ago. That was insane.
Oh man, who does front of house
Uh,
for them?
I can't remember his name. He's been with them since forever.
Yeah.
And it still makes analog. So because like everyone like
Wow.
switched to digital, but it
Yeah.
still makes analog. And man, I mean, the band is absolutely awesome, and the sound was awesome. Second band who sounds maybe even better, but I don't even sure. Rammstein.
Oh yeah, yeah. I hear a lot of good things, and I think I know what
Oh,
your third band is, and but I'm gonna wait. Um, yeah.
uh, yeah, Rammstein. It's insane, insane. After that, Metallica is maybe my third band. I
Okay.
think they sound awesome. Um, and what else? Oh, In Flames, dude. In Flames live is insane.
Oh, I
Like
haven't gotten
Tom,
to
the
see In
sound
Flames, dude.
engineer, is fucking genius.
Fuck yeah.
And yeah, and what was the third band you were thinking about? Maybe I
I was
forgot
waiting
about it.
for either Meshuggah or Corn. I've heard like
Oh shit! Of course. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
you can take it back if you want to. You can take it back.
No, but yeah, dude, Meshuggah and Korn. Korn is probably the biggest drum sound you can get.
Yeah, dude.
Because also there's so much space for it in
Yep.
their music. And Meshuggah is just insane. It's just like there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, yeah. I saw Corn recently after not really listening to them much or even seeing them live like for how old am I? For like 15 years or something.
Yeah,
And I went and saw them and it was just like fucking wow. Like their front
yeah,
of house guy is killing it right now. Like he is.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh
Yeah, he's
man,
really, really good. Yeah, is from Italy though.
really? Huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, all you Europeans over there are just way too talented, man. So what about albums? What are your favorite sounding albums?
Oh, I love everything made in the late 90s and early 2000s, everything made by Andy Wallace.
Yeah.
He's my favorite mixer ever.
Okay.
Uh, Everything made by Chris Agi. Um, so like from like the Korn, the Linkin Park, the Slayer, the Slipknot, I mean everything made in that era is it still sounds. In the a little more modern, I love David Bendeth. Like what he did with the Bring Me the Horizon is insane on Sempiternal,
Yeah.
and he's the king of massive drums.
Yep.
Um, Recently, man, I don't really listen to new stuff anymore. I'm getting too old, maybe. No, in a modern production, I really love the Ginger album. I think it
Oh
sounds
yeah.
it's not over pushed. It's you can listen to it like it's easy to listen to it, and it's great. I think the music is pretty cool. They obviously play really good.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, what else? I listened a ton of like to Hans Zimmer stuff. I love that kind of shit.
Nice. Yeah, Hans Zimmer is the
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds bigger than any metal band, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Seriously. I yeah, I could go on about Hans Zimmer. That guy is incredible, and you can hear now that like the influence from him on modern metal bands, which is kind of it's kind of
Yeah,
crazy
yeah, yeah,
that it's transcending genres like that, how just
yeah.
incredible he is at composition. Um Cool. So those are some of your favorite sounding live albums. Your favorite. So do you have? And this might be obvious, but do you have a favorite, just musically? So maybe not the mix. Gojira album. Is there, or are there some songs that really like? Those are your
From
songs.
us to serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me it's I mean, I think I like the mix as well.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's really harsh and there's a lot of reverb on everything.
Yep.
Um, but man, the I think it's maybe the performance is so insane. I think that's the thing I like the most.
Yeah.
There is like energy coming from somewhere else that I can't really explain.
Yeah.
It's insane, really insane.
Yeah, what an
Um,
incredible album. And for me
yeah,
it's like it's a toss up between that album and I'm going to butcher this pronunciation cuz I'm obviously not French. L'Enfant
Enfant
Sauvage.
Sauvage.
Yeah.
My favorite mix is probably the Way of All Flesh.
Really?
I think I think the mix is really really nice. It's drum heavy. Drums are
Yeah.
extremely loud, but this sounds so good. I mean, again, I think it's Mario's performance is absolutely amazing on every albums, but
Yeah.
especially on this one.
Yeah. He we were talking before, he is in my like top 3 favorite drummers. And
Yeah,
so and you were saying right that he just hits like incredibly hard.
yeah. Too loud, too hard, too loud, too. It's he has no limit. It's when you watch him I can tell it can go like even like harder,
If he
but
want like he's holding back.
if he wants, yeah, he's holding it back. Like
Ugh.
yeah.
And
It's just man, it's insane.
does that make it easier for you or more difficult like as an engineer?
If Raphael is still in the chat, he's gonna laugh because we talk about it pretty often. Because for the story, so Raphael Bove, my friend, is the dude who mixed that awesome Gojira Live Pollen Rock that they released a year ago now,
Oh,
something.
sick.
So and he mixed it, and I think it sounds absolutely awesome. Uh, he sounds like a little more like polished.
Yeah.
Than the Red Rocks. My way of mixing is a little more like a rock, let's say.
Sure.
That's why I love Andy Wallace because he's got this thing, this
Yeah.
that I love. Anyway, so with him, we talked a lot about that, and there's few drummers that's might be the only issue they have is like hitting too hard. It kind of choke the drums, and that's sometimes a problem, you know. Which is it sounds weird, but drumming there's a sweet spot where you have to be to be the best of the best of the best of the best of the best,
Yeah.
which is hard, and especially when you play live. You know, Mario in studio, I can make him whatever I want, and it sounds like awesome.
Right.
Live, he's playing in front of like thousands of people, so you just want to rock it out and just
Yeah.
hit.
You got to put
You
on a
know,
show. You got the adrenaline
yeah,
going.
yeah. So I don't blame him at all. It's just like sometimes when it hits too hard, it can choke and you're gonna have to deal with it.
Your
But
buddy,
that's what you have an engineer.
yeah, your buddy's calling him the snare killer.
Just yeah.
um, awesome, man. Well, last thing we do here, and I know you said it doesn't have to be new bands, but we do an artist playlist. So what have you been listening to recently? So some folks can get some insight on what moves you musically.
Dude, I need to check my Spotify.
Oh man,
I've kind of
I'm just gonna rename this segment instead of artist playlist. It's just gonna be like what's on your Spotify, because that's literally everybody does that. Everybody, oh, I gotta check my Spotify.
But yeah, but also sometimes you listen to playlists and you don't even know what like, oh, this song is cool, and then you come back to it and
Exactly.
you're like, oh, that's this band, all right, cool, you
Yep.
know. So what I've been listening to recently, Car Bomb, which is one of the
Oh yeah.
best bands in the world, if
Yep.
you know them. They're from New York as well.
So heavy.
Um, the last two albums are insane.
Yep.
I got Cult of Luna, which is one of my favorite band ever.
Nice.
They're from Norway, Sweden, can't remember. Their latest album is awesome. As I said, I listen pretty often to that Ginger album that I
Yeah.
found super cool. Quill Attack, awesome band.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard of
Uh,
them.
yeah, I don't know if you have pronounced it like in the good way, but it's Kvelertak. They're from Norway,
Huh.
and the new album is mixed and produced by a Kurt Ballou, so it
Oh
sounds
damn, nice.
awesome. Code Orange, awesome. I mean, if you don't know them, go check them out.
Yeah.
It's their shit is the new shit, I think. It's
Oh yeah.
crazy.
100%. It's the
I
new
know
shit.
I know them, and because they toured with Gojira,
Yeah.
so we became friends. And they are in life like their music, you know. They just go for it. There's no bullshit. It's just
Nice.
like they go for it. Oh, and I've been listening to the Lacuna Coil.
Okay.
I like the production of their last album. I don't know why. There's something that I like about it, and I like they're like super catchy songs. And
Yeah, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
yeah. I think they have some sort of a comeback or something. I think the new stuff is pretty good.
Killer. So Johann,
And
before we, oh no,
yeah.
you got another one. No, you got one more.
Oh yeah, I got the last one. I like some electro stuff, and there's this band from Iceland called Kiasmos. It's amazing. You should check them out. It's like
Cosmos.
super chill, super electro, like massive kick. You know, poof, poof. Not EDM though. It's
Yeah.
like far from it. And yeah, dude, that's pretty much.
Killer, man. So
That's it.
last thing I wanted to ask you, I know you had mentioned something a little about it to me a couple of months ago when we first touched base, but while you're home and off from tour, are you looking to take on any mixing clients or anything like that? And how can folks
Yeah.
get in touch with you?
You can find me on Facebook, Johann Meyer. I think it's pretty easy to find me. On Instagram as well. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of booked right now, which is absolutely something I didn't really expect it, because of the pandemic and no touring, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm booked for at least the next month, which is great.
Awesome.
But I'm gonna start booking stuff for the summer. So yeah, if you get something you want me to do, hit me up on Facebook and Instagram. Johann Meyer.
Killer. Yeah, guys, reach out to Johann if, again, you're looking for some production, engineering, mixing on your next project. Johann, thank you fucking so much for coming on, man. I really
Cool, man.
appreciate it. I hope that we get to work together at some point in the future, either in
Yeah.
a studio setting, in a live setting. Again, I'm going to hold you to that, you wanting to come on a van tour. So
Yeah.
expect that
uh,
message from me.
I must say in Europe, not in US
Oh, in
though.
Europe. Okay,
No,
okay.
no, no, no. Because in Europe you can drive like 5, 6 hours and then you to the next venue. Like in US,
Yeah.
like the 12 hours in a
The
van
12,
now.
the
It's
12
complicated.
hours. And the catering is actually excellent.
And you have one.
Yeah,
You have one.
exactly.
That's
Exactly. All right, dude, thank you so much again for coming on, and I will catch up with you soon. I'm sure we'll have a ton to talk about once you start getting back into the swing of things.
cool, man.
All right, thanks again, Johan. Take care.
All right. Peace, man.
Bye. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging during our good buddy Johann Meyer. Again, if you were on the tail end of that, or if you are just tuning in now, you can check this out on YouTube once it goes up. It should go up sometime next week. You'll be able to see the entire interview there, as well as on the streaming platforms once we get that going. So without further ado, we'll bring on guest number 2 of the night, which is probably like one of my favorite people I've ever met in metal, and just an all-around great guy. What is going on? Cam, I muted you, so just a heads up to unmute yourself, my dude.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, there we go. Cam, what's good, man?
Hey, how are you, man?
Good, man. How's it going with you?
Oh, it's pretty good, man, considering the unfortunate circumstances. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, dude. Thank you fucking so much for coming on. You were one of the first people that like popped into my head when I wanted to do this thing, and I was like, this guy is probably fucking busy, and then
So busy.
Yeah. he's probably busy,
super busy,
being a fucking cool guy at his house with his sick new fucking Kiesel guitar.
Oh, that's not the new one. The new one is on its way.
Oh,
well, no, I should say the new one is being built soon.
sick.
Hey, peace out, Johann. You guys conversation was badass. I tuned in for that whole thing, and I look up to that guy too. I didn't realize he did Magma, my favorite Gojira album. What a
that's
legend.
your favorite one?
Holy crap, that guy is
Dude,
insane.
I know,
oh my
man.
lord. I didn't realize that he was their live sound engineer as well as doing that album. That's like my favorite Gojira album, so that's really cool.
Dude is killing it. So yeah, I saw them live, and then when I heard Magma, and then found out that he engineered that, and found out right now that he didn't just mix it, but he did all like the engineering in the studio as well.
So
Man.
Johann Meyer might be getting a little ring.
Heyo.
Hey, let's go on tour. Tell Gojira about Born of Osiris.
And then just let me, I don't know, watch you guys.
Yeah, let's do a tour with Abiotic too while we're at it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to fucking tell me twice, dude. So what's been going on with you during quarantine, man? I seen you've been putting out some content. You put out probably the hottest cover of the year of Headstrong.
Yeah, that's it's crazy, man. The things that I will do just because I just want to put out music.
Yeah.
I have a lot of music that's just been kind of sitting on the shelf, and that's nobody's fault. It's just what's happening right now. So it's I'm excited to later this year have some stuff come out because I've been isolated like the most, like everybody else has, really. But when you have anxiety about your future and just in general, sometimes the only thing I can do is just make music like crazy, or else I crawl out of my skin. I have to go run somewhere, like run into the forest. Like I try to play video games. It's cool for like 10 minutes. I make music. I could sit there for 6 hours, and then someone, someone tries to interrupt me and I can't even talk because I'm just like stuck in this zone. Like, no, wait, I
Yeah.
have to finish the riff. Don't talk to me.
Oh, exactly, dude. And
uh, but yeah, I honestly, I feel like a crazy person until all this music comes out because it's like, oh, wow, what have you been doing this whole time? Well, would love to show you.
yeah,
So
right. No,
pretty soon.
I'm on that same tip, dude. We haven't put out music in fucking 5 years, and I can't. Well, I guess aside from the last single that we put out about a year ago now, but not like a full body of work, you know. And it's like I'm itching to just get out as much as I can, and I've talked about it before, but I'm like the worst at it. So I've sent stuff to you and a few other
Yeah,
people as well. And
those two tracks you just sent me are insane.
oh, thank you, man. That
I
means so
was I
much.
was sold right at the top when I heard that flute, like the real flute. It's like, God damn,
Ooh,
it's hot.
you guys are getting some insider right here. There's some flutes on the new
Oops,
record.
oops. I don't know what
That's all
I
right.
don't know what I could say.
That's all right.
It's really it sounds really dope though. Those two songs you sent me sounded really sick.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah. So on your content stuff. So you've been, like I said, you put out the hottest cover of the year.
Shreps, yeah. If nobody saw my cover of Headstrong, it's a vocal cover. I've been working on my vocals, as you can see. We're SM7B brothers now.
There you
Congrats.
go. Hell yeah.
The best
SM7B
microphone. It's so
bees.
fun. Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, check out my cover of Headstrong. That's the last content I released. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious, and fuck that guy. So it was super funny. And then you put out some fucking rap songs with like Project Pat and stuff. So
I
like,
did. Yeah.
dude.
So funny story about that. So I've been working on a rap album. It's not serious. There's nothing serious about it, and I've been doing it on my own time, my own dime, just having fun and collaborating with friends and just trying to get homies on the record. Whoever wants to have fun with me, and if I vibe out to a beat, you know, I've been using a lot of other people's beats, using my own beats as well, and it's pretty interesting how Project Pat got involved in this song. He was advertising half off features. So a buddy of mine was like, we grew up listening to Project Pat, as many other people did in high school,
Yeah.
just smoking weed, driving to school, listening to Project Pat.
Yeah, dude.
And he actually hit me back. So I was like, oh, cool. Okay. Like I sent him the track that I had done with my vocals so far. So it was like one verse I did with a beat that my homie Nick Bernstein made.
Yeah.
And I gave him half the payment first, and I didn't hear anything from him for a while. And I was like, I thought about it, and I thought about what all his lyrics are about. It's like about robbing and stealing, and I like listened to like some of his songs, and then I was like, oh, Project Pat just robbed me. But I was wrong. He actually sent me a verse. It was amazing. So shout out to Project Pat. That was amazing. I thought he was gonna rob me, but he ended up doing something really cool. So
Dude, that's
still
so fucking
still waiting
sick.
on him to send me some video for
Oh
it. So I
shit.
could,
Okay.
put together a music video for it. But yeah, man, I'm just having fun with the rap stuff. My good friend Steve Gerard has helped me put this project into fruition. And he gets to tell me what songs suck and which ones should go first and whatnot, because you know,
You need that
not all
sometimes.
you need that homie that could be like, yo, this sucks, we're not putting that one out. So be like, okay. uh, the older I get, the more I like think something I did is good, and then I need some people to shut it down sometimes because it's not always good.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just like fucking
You know.
podcasts and all kinds of shit. So I need that same shit too.
No, this is dope, man. I'm happy to see you doing this. I'm here for the cause.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you. So you've got some cover shit going on. You've got the fucking rap shit going on. You've got your own solo like tech.
A solo metal album. We'll just call it metal.
Okay.
I mean, it's also electronic. I do like electronic interludes and stuff, but I'm not gonna give too much away about
Yeah.
it, but it's still in the works. And with this new guitar being built for me, I have a feeling that I'm not done writing the songs. I feel like I need to maybe make one more or two, and there will be some more playthroughs. That's for sure. Kiesel is making me a new guitar that I sent them the specs for today.
Nice,
and
dude.
I can't stop thinking about it.
Oh yeah, man. I know that feeling, and that's got to be tough for you, like on the guitar side and then on the drum side too, and shit. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I hate people, so I just play instruments at home. No, I'm just kidding. But actually, I miss everybody. I miss the hangs. But it's been nice to have some outside gatherings in the last couple of weekends, and as things open up and we realize the truth about COVID numbers. Of course, I'm still very careful, but let's be honest, some of those numbers are not real. So there's no need to be panicking when you leave your house, but let's just be careful.
Yeah, be careful, be safe. I mean, there's so much shit, like so many variables to that where it's like I could easily see why the numbers are exaggerated, and then I could easily see why the numbers are suppressed. So it's so hard to think.
Right. So you know what I found out recently, which is I just found this out a couple of days ago, is just crazy. So here's, for example, in Chicago, a kid died from a gunshot wound. I think he's like 15.
Yeah.
It just happened 2 or 3 days ago. Rest in peace. Don't know his name, or I'd, shout out the family and stuff. But they tested him after he was deceased, and he happened to have COVID.
Yeah.
So that gets marked as a COVID death, and that's also what's been going on. For those of you that don't know, people who die, you get hit from a bus. Well, you didn't die from COVID, but if you had COVID, they test everybody after they die, and that's marked as a COVID death. And yeah, I mean, the list goes on. There's other things that the numbers are skewed and it's off, but we still need to be very careful, no doubt. We all need to be very careful. But it made me feel a little bit less uneasy.
Right.
Been watching Joe Rogan instead of the news just to get the real scoop on what's going on. So after I turn off the Fox News and I turn on Joe Rogan, I'm like, okay, cool. Now we're up to speed. So I guess I'm gonna have to switch to Spotify, but oh well.
Yeah.
News. Gonna have to switch to Spotify to get the real news.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just got paid, dude.
Yeah, good for him, man. He deserves it. He works his ass off. I see him on these podcasts just all the time and everything, and he's just such a smart guy. I really like his view on everything. I respect the hell out of him.
Yeah, definitely an inspiration. We got some little chat movement here. So Nick says getting robbed by Project Pat would be almost as sick as doing a track with him.
I agree with that. I was ready for both. I was like, he can rob me anytime. Like after this, Project Pat, if you're listening, I know you're not, but I hope you liked the song in the end. You never told me if you liked it, but I hope you show Juicy J. Probably won't, but
I'm sure he will.
I just want to hang out.
After this, you and me and Project Pat, and we'll make it happen. Charles says, I went to UM with Cameron's brother Brian. Really cool guy.
That's awesome. Yeah, my brother Brian rules, and he has taught me my brother has laid the foundation for me to record Born of Osiris when we were just youngsters, when we went from other names. We used to be called Your Heart Engraved, and started with Diminished.
Yeah, I was going to say it's Diminished. Before that, I was doing
Rosecrans.
Yeah.
Was another one. I recorded the demos that got us signed in my parents' basement, and Sumerian Records found us on MySpace, and they said, "Hey, do you guys want to do this for real?" And of course, I was like, "Yeah, we're ready." And they're like, "Okay, do you guys have a van and a trailer?" And I lied. Typical. I was like, yeah, we got it all. Let's go. Let's get it going. And I was like, called up the band like, guys, we need a van and a trailer. I just told them we have one.
Dude, I did the exact same thing to Metal Blade. Like exactly
Did you
that same thing.
Like I knew we had to make it happen. So, yeah, sometimes little white lies. Hey, they happen. You know, here we are.
I mean, we got the vans and the trailers, right? I mean,
Yeah, it happened.
we did not have it. When you asked for it, did we have it? Then yeah, we have it.
Shout out to our parents at the time. We're lucky.
Yeah, legit.
We were lucky enough to, you know, not be poor kids, and like really blessed with just even having, like, my dad bought me, I think my dad is watching right now. Say hi to Edward Losch too. He might be watching, but he bought me a set of drum mics. I think it was maybe for my birthday or for Christmas, but that really changed everything for me. And like,
That's awesome.
For new parents and stuff too. And like, I'm not a parent, I never will be, but shout out to the parents who are awesome like that. Buy your kids some gear, and it might change their life. Like,
Yeah. No,
get them a drum kit, you know?
totally. Yeah, my parents, you know, we didn't have a lot, but my mom made it happen. If I asked for a piece of gear that I knew was within the budget, and kept me going for sure too. So absolutely encourage your kids, man. Encourage your kids to be in the arts so that they're not lost.
That's awesome. Well, shout out to your mom. You are a phenomenal guitar player.
Oh man, well thank you.
And
Oh, we got a special guest. My husky wants to ask you some questions. Awesome, dude. So did you guys have to miss any tours because of the COVID shit?
yes, we did. We did, and it's being postponed, but we all know that postponed is just a fancy way of saying canceled.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did. I'm not sure if I can because the tour was never announced. I'm not sure if I can disclose the
Right.
band, but it's amazing band, and I freaked out when I heard about the offer. It starts with a D and it ends with an E, and they play like insane like video game metal, and they're on Guitar Hero. So yeah, that we were supposed to go on that tour, and it would have been one of the sickest tours ever that we would have ever done. Thanks, COVID.
Yeah, thanks, COVID. And you know, I missed that tour. I missed Deftones and Gojira. Like, god damn it. And you know, how many other tours that probably didn't get announced, and all the ones that did get announced and get canceled. Fucking a crazy time, dude. And you've been in the game for a while, and I've asked a bunch of guys that have been doing this for like 20 plus years, and it's like, have you ever experienced anything where you had to, like, everything just stopped? Like everything that we hold dear is just nope.
Just done. Yeah, nobody has. So it is a tiny bit reassuring to know that there's so many other people that are in the same position right now.
Yeah.
And you know, but it's rough. I mean, things like unemployment, it's just been a ghost town, you know. I'm feeling like a ghosted 80s girl out here trying to call like, hey, I don't have a job. So where you at?
Yeah, fuck.
So just working on reinventing ourselves. So as far as Born of Osiris goes, we recently filmed a lockdown video that it's not released yet, but we all have, most of us have home studios, if not friends that have studios nearby and stuff. So we individually filmed a music video, not for our upcoming album that's not out yet, but for an older song off the Simulation, our last album.
Nice.
Can't disclose the song yet, but that should come out in the next few days or a week or so. And Lee himself, our guitarist, Lee Shred Extraordinaire, is editing the video himself.
Awesome.
And he's mixing it himself, as far as I know too. So it's
shit.
badass. So shout out to Lee, love you, brother. That's gonna be a dope video. I'm excited to see it. I used a GoPro for the first time to film an overhead angle with my drums. I got multi-angle finally. So I think that's gonna be the breakthrough into me actually doing full drum covers. I really would prefer to do it on an acoustic kit, but
Yeah.
again, thanks COVID. It's going to be on my electric kit because we don't have a practice spot. So my drums are really sad in some dark storage space right now. It's
Oh
very
no.
sad. Very sad, but the Roland kit works. It's fun.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I'm looking forward to seeing that, and I will spread the fucking word. So, have you guys been working on some new shit during the quarantine?
So yeah, all of us we have kind of our individual stuff we do, and Lee has finished up his second solo album, which he hasn't showed it to me yet. So I know it's absolutely insane because
Yeah.
I've heard like a song or two from it, and it's blew my mind.
Awesome.
But we finished a Born of Osiris album. I'm super stoked on it.
Fuck yeah.
Where to begin? I should definitely note that we have a new addition to the band, and his name is Nick Rossi, and he's from like Phoenix area, Arizona. We've known him for many years, and he's played in a couple different bands. One was City in the Sea years ago. I believe they're signed to Sumerian, but I think we did a Warped tour, and that was sort of my introduction to Nick. And just the songs that he writes. He's a guitarist, but he's been playing bass for us.
Yeah.
For now. But once we start getting shows going again, he should be playing guitar.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Oops, did I say that? He's right now he's on his way up, but the music he writes is just insane. And I really like it, and I love to just dive into the drum parts. And on this album, he wrote a bunch of songs on this album, and they're very close to me, the songs, and I spent a lot of time just jamming them on the drums and making sure that when I got to the studio, I could really add my own flair
Yeah.
to it. So shout out to my anxiety for making me work really hard on the drums.
Dude, I'm in that same boat as well, and that's what's getting me through this podcast and the new Abiotic and working 40 hours a week and all that stuff.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Well, you're killing it. Dude, that's great. Yeah, man, that's what we got to do. We got to just stay busy and stay talking to people, keep communicating, and once this all dies down, hopefully we can just all be, just laugh about it. Be like, well, you didn't die, did you? No. Grandma died, but we'll miss her, but let's move on.
Yeah. That's really sick to hear, though, because I met Nick briefly, probably the last time we hung out at the Palladium, and was sick to see him kind of doing his thing, and that's awesome to hear that he's going to be shredding it up with you guys too. And do you guys have an idea of who's going to be filling the bass shoes, or that's a little too deep?
Let's see. It depends on like what's the newest MacBook that comes out when shows start.
Oh shit. Okay.
I mean, look at Periphery, look at
Yeah.
Animals as Leaders. Just killing it. Yeah, that will probably be the plan, but it's hard for me to even envision playing shows again, like what that would look like, but I'm trying to be optimistic. I think we'll be back swinging, but it won't be anytime soon. So
Yeah. I think it's, especially for guys like us that like we fucking live to do that shit, it's gonna feel way longer than probably it actually is. But yeah, I think it's just gonna take a little bit of forced patience on our end, and when shit gets back, it's gonna be fucking bumping, and it's that's when we're gonna see and play like the best shows of our lives easily, I think.
yeah, I think so too, because I think everybody is so starved for media, or for live shows, I should say.
Yeah.
We have a little too much media right now, just too many screens. But yeah, I think people are just starved for live entertainment right now, and I know I am, and yeah, I hope so. I think it's going to be nuts. Hopefully they don't limit the capacity too much, because then that's just like totally defeats the purpose. The only way we can we can even break even or make money off the shows is if we get a decent amount of people there.
Right.
So
Exactly.
if there's a 25% capacity, well, I don't I don't know if that financially if we'll be able to tour at all. But
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
I've been talking to, on the podcast, booking agents and promoters and label people, and everyone's saying how this could like change the whole dynamic of the touring game of like how bands get paid and how all kinds of shit. So it's gonna be interesting to watch it unfold for sure. But like I had Dave Davidson on from Revocation on the show, and he was saying where it's like we're history in the making right now. We're at a point where we're gonna look back on this and say, we were in the music industry when this happened. What?
you're 100% right. And
Yep.
what's going to be on the next page in the history book is George Floyd.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
going to be on the next page. And then history is moving fast too. These are really, really important events that people will talk about hundreds of years from now.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's insane. And I'm happy to see that there was some justice for George Floyd finally with that. You know, that's he's finally getting some jail time. But honestly, who knows with that stuff? They say, oh, you get a sentence. Like I'm sure he'll get, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be a slap on the wrist because this is America.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. I was reading a few things that I didn't vet, so don't fucking quote me on this, but I was seeing somewhere that they were trying to charge him with like third degree murder, which is like if you push somebody and then they hit their head and then they die, which is fucking obviously not what happened. And then somewhere else I read was saying that he had some underlying health issues and all kinds of other shit, and that's why he died. That an autopsy report showed that it wasn't from somebody stepping on his or having a knee on his neck for 7 minutes. So
regardless
blood boiling,
regardless
dude.
that's a way, that's how you kill somebody to keep your knee on there. I don't know
Right.
what police training videos he was watching, but
No fucking idea, but it's like beyond
it's
frustrating and just enraging, dude. So yeah, I said it in the beginning of this podcast. The podcast is brought to you by Fuck Murdering Racist Cops.
yep,
So fuck murdering racist cops. Um,
100%.
so the new rain, dude. So when I was first getting into like, I guess like modern heavier bands. So I grew up listening to like classic rock kind of stuff. That's kind of like what got me into playing guitar. And then I really quickly got into like the shredders because I made friends with some dudes that were like, oh, that guitar playing is fucking boring. Why are you listening to that? And I was like, yeah, why am I listening to that? And then so I just started listening to like Dream Theater and like all those bands. And so the first time I started listening to like that, realized, oh, there's like new bands coming out and new stuff is being written, and there's like this whole modern spin on everything. You guys were like in that first group of bands that I listened to. And like Johann was saying earlier before we got on, the New Rain was like one of those albums that I was just like, whoa, fuck, like this is that real shit. We were my local band at the time, like pre-Abiotic, were writing songs, and we were just like, oh, we got to write this fucking Born of Osiris part. And like I'm sure many bands are doing right now. And then I found out that like you pretty much like wrote and recorded like drums, guitars, and bass for that album.
Yes, that's true. I did.
Dude.
No vocals, but yeah, I remember practicing the guitars and drums in my house like a bunch before I left to my friend Spencer who was our manager at the time. Shout out to Spencer. Thanks for your help, brother. He drove, me and him drove to California to Michael Keynes, who I watched some of your guys' podcast, was awesome.
Nice.
Shout out to Michael Keane also. and me and him, we locked ourselves away in the studio, and I stayed at a hotel nearby. But each day we got some solid stuff in. But the album was so short because we recorded it on spring break. We had to get back to school, so
Wow.
I was a senior in high school, so I had to return back to school. So the rest of the guys flew in a little later, and Ronnie and Joe recorded the vocals. Um, and yeah, we it was cool. Yeah, our lives changed. We knew we wanted to do music full time and stuff, but
Yeah.
um, it's not like there's no like fairy tale like, oh wow, we're doing this really moment, because it's been difficult the whole time.
Yeah.
So sometimes people will be like, man, how does it feel to, and it does. I'm not gonna lie, like it feels amazing to have the support of people that recognize the hard work and that can vibe to the music and the feelings, and just the angst that comes out in the music. I think is just, I've never been so great with words, but I can express myself a lot better through my music and
Yeah.
making people really. I just want to share my experiences through the music, if that
Yep.
makes sense. Maybe
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can hear something in a way that I felt and try to reproduce that through a song or a sound or a riff. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a rough ride. It's I mean, it's also been great, but like anything, it's been we've been a band touring for 13 years, so it's not all sunshine and butterflies, but it's not all horror stories either. We've had a really good time, and I love my brothers in the band, and just growing up together has been pretty crazy. No, I haven't grown up yet, but you know,
Yeah, dude,
but
and
yeah.
so what do you think was going on during the new Rain that you were trying to get out? Because again, that album, and again, all the ones following that album are fucking great, obviously, but that first album, I think, is obviously what like really set you guys up. And that album today, from 2007, when you guys dropped it, is still gets talked about. So what do you think you were trying to get out with when you wrote pretty much that entire thing, and when we're taking care of all the instruments and shit?
I had a lot. So we all know, being teenagers, growing up, puberty, and just all the feelings that go with it. And
Yep.
if you're in high school, just school in general from the start was pretty rough for me. I was bullied, and of course, in turn, then I became the bully,
Right.
which sucks even worse. Because that's all you know. You're like, oh, now if I'm in the position to be a bully, I will be. So it's just really confusing time,
Yeah.
finding out who I was. And I've had a suicide attempt, and
Oh
I
man.
was suicidal through good half of high school. So if you guys are watching this, you feel that way, you're not alone. It happens. It's happened further into my adult life, and the feelings will probably come back again. But
Right.
it's just what it is. It's life, and it's tough, and you have ups and downs. It's a roller coaster. But um, and I grew up too with very confused feelings and trying to hide that I was gay.
Yeah.
And if you want to know where a lot of the isolation and the rifts and the sadness came from, was just feeling like I could never be myself. Um, just because religion and what a lot of people expect of you and what's cool, and like the school I went to, if I had came out being gay at that time, I don't think I could. I don't know if I would have survived school. Like it would
Holy
have.
shit.
I mean, it would have been fucked. I think a lot of people probably could relate at that time. Now it's way different. I
Yeah.
think now it's a lot more accepted, but I I can't even complain because God, what 10, 20, 30 years ago before that, but
Right.
that's where a lot of the angst came from, was like, fuck, I don't want to be this way. Like, why? I tried to date girls, and I tried and I tried, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna make some heavy metal and fuck everybody.
That's, I mean, I personally really appreciate that struggle. It's something that I and many people will not understand what you went through, and it's really something that to admire, that you were able to get through it even during the difficult times. You were able to channel it in a way that was positive for the most part through music. You were able to find a silver lining in that situation, which was to put together a great piece of music with some, eventually some great guys, and then be able to live out your dreams, so it.
Thanks, John. That means the world to me, and I am so appreciative to the members of my band and my parents and their parents for just making this happen, because I couldn't do it alone. And it's this is not just the Cameron show, because I could have not have done it without anybody else in the band or all of our parents. We practiced from various basements and garages, and shout out to all the parents of all the Born of Osiris parents. We love you to death. But yeah, that was just the first chapter, so it's nice. It's just felt like a big weight lifted off my shoulder, and now I think the next weight I'd like to lift off my shoulders when my solo album's finally released.
Hey, it's coming, baby. So were your folks pretty supportive, like you coming up and doing music and everything like that? Like, was there a time where you were like, all right, so we're gonna start touring and doing this shit full time, and were they like, fucking do it, or were they like, but no, college? Like,
that's a great question. So yeah, my parents were all for it. My mom is a viola teacher and violin.
Oh, no way.
And she still is. She teaches orchestra and various stuff, but now she's a Zoom teacher because COVID. But yeah, my mom taught me my first instrument, piano. She said, "You'll thank me later," and I was always like, "No," but now I'm like, "Yes, thank you." So I play a lot more piano than most people know.
Which, sorry to interrupt you, but if you guys don't know, so on Symbiosis, there on the very intro track, there's a piano thing that leads into when the band comes in, and Cameron wrote that. That's Cam.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was a long ass time ago, dude.
Oh yeah, that was sick, man. That was sweet. We gotta collab again. I'm trying to get a guitar solo from you, man.
That's all you got to do is ask. All you got to do is ask.
Wow. All right. Well, maybe I'll save an open slot on this next song for you.
Got me, my dude. You got me.
That's awesome, man. Well, so let me flip the switch for a second and do a little interview on you.
Oh shit. Okay.
So what is the rest of the guys in Abiotic doing? I heard you guys just put out 2 songs and they're incredible. They're insane. You guys are not ready for them. But what have you guys been doing in your downtime? Does anybody still working? Does anybody have an essential job?
So we put out a single about a year ago. Those 2 tracks I sent you are kind of just like demos for what we got going for the record. And we started tracking drums for it this week, actually. So our drummer, Tony, who is holding down the production engineering for the new album, he started tracking drums, and luckily enough, even before all this shit, he was going to be doing the production, and he's kind of one of those guys that for the most part prefers to work alone anyway. So he's in the studio doing his thing, and we trust him as far as for the drum tracks to kind of be able to do that on his own and just kind of send us shit. And we've been kind of honing in the demos for a little while now, and I actually have an essential job. For most of us do, the 3 of us do. So I am a GM of a weed dispensary out here in Massachusetts. So I've been...
Weed is tight.
Oh yeah. Been doing my thing. And Matt, our guitar player, has actually he works 2 jobs. He works for FedEx and he works for another company that I can't remember right now, but he's been fucking super hustling. And then our buddy Travis, who is on vocals, he has been actually he took a part-time job working at Target. and he's actually just recently kind of been getting some, hey, in case we get looted, here's what you should do type shit. But yeah, and it was actually cool to see. He sent it to us, or somebody sent it, that Target sent out a thing, like their CEO or whatever, kind of in support of everything that's going on, which I thought was pretty awesome. They're still going to be paying all of their employees who, you know, are not working for stores that have been, you know, looted and things like that. And it was kind of cool to see them stand on the right side of things, in my opinion, anyway.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Good. I've always liked Target, but I have even more respect for them. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. You should do a podcast, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think about it. I have so much downtime now, and I bought this SM7B for rapping, but time to put it to use. Been
can do
bored
it. Use it for more than bars. Yeah. Rad. Yeah. So, you know, you guys were a big influence on us even in the beginning. And actually it reminds me, I think the first time that we started talking a little bit was when we dropped our first music video for Vermo Sapien, and our vocalist was wearing a Born of Osiris shirt in the music video. And
yes,
I think you had said something, and then you guys ended up like sharing that for us and shit. And which appreciate that. You guys have had our backs for, you know, a long time, so it's been
absolutely. You guys have been you guys have been a really sick band the whole time. You've only been the homie to me, so I always looked forward to seeing you in Florida, and now it's in. Are you in Worcester? Worcester?
Yeah, Worcester.
You have to adapt the accent. Worcester.
Yeah, there you
go. I went to. I actually one time. We were supposed to play New England Metal Fest one year.
Yep.
And something happened. Our slot got screwed up. We didn't get to play. So I was pissed about that. So typical me, got shit-faced
no.
because I was just pissed at life in general that day. And I woke up in a cell, and like, like a holding cell. And the rest of the band couldn't find me all day, and I think it was time to drive to our next show or whatever, but
no.
I was nowhere to be seen. So they called police stations everywhere, and every police station said I was not there because they were just out of options. That was the last option they had, was like find camera and call the police stations. Right. They also said I wasn't there. Finally, they called one of them one more time, and they're like, actually, yeah, he is here. You want to come get him? Yeah, wow. So talk about crooked cops, but so to this day, none of us know what I did, but my ticket said disturbing the peace. So honestly, I probably just passed out in the grass, and the cops probably woke me up and like, hey, and then I was probably a dickhead. But I've changed a lot since those days, I promise.
Hey, but if you got woken up, if you were having a nice nap,
that's on them. That's on them.
Exactly.
They disturbed the peace.
Disturbed your peace, dude.
Yeah, seriously. Why are you gonna disturb my peace like that?
Yo, so after the new rain comes out, what was the first? What were some of the first tours you guys went on?
Oh, so our first tour we did after right after we got out of high school, we had like two weeks off, and then we went on tour with Winds of Plague,
wow.
Beneath the Sky, Catherine, and At the Throne of Judgment. I remember this tour like it was yesterday because it was my first tour. But it's funny how there's other tours that like blend in and things details I can't remember. But because that was our very first tour, I remember it so well. And we had the time of our lives, and you know, there was good times. There was shit times, and there was mostly good times, but mostly good times on that tour. It was a lot of fun. I was like, okay, so is this what we're doing? Cool. We could do this for 13 more years.
yeah. Apparently, dude, that's fucking awesome. That's a sick first tour.
Yeah, it was really sick. I love, to this day, love all the Winds of Plague guys, and I've lost touch with some of the guys in the other bands. But we some pretty special friendships on that tour, and the Winds of Plague guys kind of felt like our older brothers, like
Yeah.
showing us the ropes. So shout out to Winds of Plague and for showing us what touring is like, because we just didn't want it to end. Super fun, man. What was Abiotic's first tour?
Oh, our first tour. It's like, I guess like our first legit tour was I'm trying to think, because like if you're a band from Florida, you can only play Florida and it's considered a tour because Florida's like 8 hours driving, so you can like drive 4 hours and still be in Florida, and then you can drive another 4 hours and still be in Florida, and you can drive another. So we did we did like Miami, Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville. We did that with 40 Winners, King Conquer, and In Reference to a Sinking Ship, which was the name of the band prior to the band Dark Sermon, if you ever heard of them.
Oh, yeah, I remember them.
So that was our first, like, it was, all those bands were from Florida, including us, so we kind of did like a Florida Boys, like a little Florida tour, but our first full U.S. tour was us co-headlining with Enfold Darkness, which they were on
such a
Sumerian
sick
at the time.
band. They're so sick.
Super sick. Veil of Nath.
Oh my god, I love that band. They just put out an amazing album too. I mean, it's not that new, but
Not too long
insane.
ago. And then our buddies in this band After the Spire, which are actually from around your neck of the woods. They're like Chicago, Indiana-ish area. And that was our first full U.S. tour, and it was super sick. Made a bunch of awesome friends. Chasen was drumming for Full Darkness at the time.
Chasen is such a beast. Been talking to
man.
that fool. I hadn't spoke to him in like years, but just recently been talking to him. He actually did some fun drumming over one of my songs I sent him just for fun, but he did he did a really sick job. He killed it. Yeah, I just muted the drums. Was like, here, go at it, and he did, and it was insane.
Fuck yeah! Oh man, I can't wait to hear that. Yeah, I haven't. Me and him, I caught up with him like a couple of years ago, and had been hanging with him and stuff like that a little bit. Like we were talking about doing some music stuff together, and then he started getting like some more gigs again. So he was doing like Whitechapel, and then he started doing, like, more recently, I think he was doing some stuff with like Heart Machine and shit. And so he's a fucking super talented guy. And that tour,
he's cool, and he's super chill, and like most importantly, I mean, talent is cool, and I'm not gonna name names, but I'm not impressed by talent anymore. If you're a dickhead, it doesn't impress me.
No.
You know what's impressive is if you could be talented and you could still be my friend.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's, I don't know. I have trouble. I couldn't like sleep at night being that guy, you know, and maybe
some people can though. Then they shouldn't be sleeping.
Yeah.
And that's why they can't. That's why they can't stick to one band.
Yeah, maybe unintentionally. I've we've all been that. I've been that guy. We've been that guy. But I could never like knowingly be an asshole to somebody and then just be like, oh, anyway, and like, I don't know, not something that I can do. But I don't know, man. It's been a frustrating experience, really making it a point to be that person in that band as well. Like, especially, I want to make sure that the band is a representation of who we are, and always be in the band that's respectful and on time and professional and never any drama. Our name is not in the fucking Metal Sucks tabloids or whatever.
See, I can't say that. I can't. I mean, we are not innocent by any means, but
but I say that to say that I sometimes, and it's not always, and it's, there's exceptions, whatever, but I see that some of the bands that does happen, they have their names and whatever, and those are a lot of the bands that are doing well for some reason. So it's
yeah. So they say that any publicity is good publicity, and right. I somewhat disagree with that.
Yeah.
You could I don't know. I think there's a fine line. Like, let's take Trept for example. Some people think that band is going to be huge because of their Twitter shenanigans.
No.
But no, I don't think that people knowing of you equals them respecting you.
Right.
I don't think that equals people actually paying to go see your show.
No.
I think it's funny that people are trying to boycott them from from being on the Tony Hawk playlist.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I mean,
amazing.
I have nothing against Mr. Trapped. I think his views are very messed up, and I think he's just genuinely crazy. And I wish the best for the guy. I wish
Yeah.
I wish the best for everybody, even my enemies. I don't wish anybody truly ill because I think we all have our moments
Yeah.
in time, like, and we figure it out. I'm an extremely forgiving person, and I have to be because I've done things I would hope to be forgive that someone forgives me. So I'm gonna do
Right.
this the same thing. I'm not perfect, but I think he's mentally losing it, and I think he might need. I think he needs to seek help, and I think he just needs more than ever. I think he needs some close friends in his life to tell him, like, bro, like, eat some edibles, take a bong rip and then read your tweets.
Yeah, seriously.
There's-
And
I call it the old tweet and delete. Learn from me. Just
tweet
save it in the drafts, cuz.
just like put it together and sit on it for a little while. Then
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're still
Just
feeling good about it, then maybe like smash that tweet button. But
that's why I sometimes I do like marijuana because it'll put me in check. Where it'll be like you get a little too stoned and then you're like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't say that. Actually,
yeah,
whereas whereas alcohol is just so destructive.
yeah,
I mean that's a whole new conversation, but I think all the viewers are probably tired have seen enough Joe Rogan for those debates.
yeah, right.
Um,
No, I mean,
but
I know, I don't drink a whole lot. I'll have a beer every now and again, and I have personally dealt with alcoholism in my family, so I've got my views on it as well, and but also like if you've got it under control, great, and if you don't and you realize it and you do something about it, even better. Like that's the whole thing. It's being self-aware, being aware of how your actions affect other people, and then making the appropriate changes you need to in your life if those things are affecting people in a negative way. If they're not, fucking do you, man. Like, just as long as you're not hurting yourself, hurting other people, you know?
Right, and as somebody who's grown up struggling from, I had mentioned the mental struggles with identity, and I didn't mention depression, but that was a big one. I had serious depression for a big portion of my life growing up too, but substance abuse, which is something I didn't bring up, was
Yeah.
something that I had a lot of struggle with, that I have overcome. Um, and
Proud of you, man.
thanks, man. I mean, it's so I drink on the weekends and um, I smoke weed, but I was a mess just sometimes out of boredom, just to change the scene and change my environment because I wasn't happy. And part of that had to do with lying to myself with who I was,
Yeah.
lying to other people, you know, about things like my sexuality. And it's funny how something just as silly as that can really affect your whole life, like, so much that can make you
Yeah.
want to die. um
Yeah.
Substance abuse and just all the things it felt like just running in circles, kind of. It's just this vicious cycle of chasing that high, and then, is it worth it? And you go in honeymoon phases of each drug, and I'd wake
Yeah.
up in the hospitals. I mean, I had so many overdoses,
Oh
things that I'm
man.
not proud of, but I guess you could say, a success story, as far as drugs and stuff go, but not many people know that. But we're on a podcast in a pandemic, so let's just let it all out, you know?
Yeah, dude, and it's talking about that shit that really it's helpful. It
And I hope to help the younger generation, maybe people,
exactly.
whether they're aspiring musicians or anybody. Just don't be afraid. Take that step. If there's something that's bothering you, let somebody know, and let people know the truth, and just be the truest version of yourself. And you might think, like, you look cool trying drugs, doing heroin, sniffing coke and shit. The shit is fucking lame. It's really fucking lame. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, yeah, and
It's whack.
it's super frustrating to, you know, going back to the sexuality thing where you know, you and countless, you know, other people have struggled with it in the identity world, in how it's affected mental health and how it's like possibly led to, you know, other things, right? And then it's like, how I can't comprehend how anybody still thinks that that is a choice, you know, like that this is what I chose to do. I chose to fucking like struggle with this and it affect me how it has, you
Right.
know.
And I think there's a lot of confusion in saying that addiction is a disease, and I can see the points of why
Yeah.
it's a disease, but I can also see why that's a toxic mentality for somebody, say comparing it with having cancer or something like that. Um, well, if it's a disease that you chose, and it's a disease that you can still choose. So again, we don't have to go too much in that topic, but if you're struggling with addiction, you're watching, you have depression, or you have secrets, don't be afraid. Just let it out. There's no right time. It's now. It's next
Yeah.
week. Like, who cares? Like, just let it go. Be honest and let your life blossom. Let the anxiety shed from your skin and be real. Just be who you are. It's amazing. You feel fucking amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Fight through it. Find somebody to talk to, but don't hold that shit in. And yeah, yeah. We could do a whole podcast on that topic, man.
Yeah, man,
So
it's crazy.
so some let's talk some road stories, dude. So do you have, I guess maybe aside from that first tour that you were telling us about, do you have like a favorite tour you've done, or do you have like some moments that are like the timestamps of like, holy fuck, I'm doing this, you know?
Yes. Okay, Mayhem Festival. What year was it? Oh man, I want to say maybe like 2015 or
I
so, something
think
around
so
there
too.
with Rob Zombie.
Oh man.
Um, yeah, man, we did Mayhem Festival with Rob Zombie, Five Finger Death Punch, and there's a bunch of other bands, but I mean, we were hyped on Rob Zombie all the way, and I love his movies. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
His movies are insane.
Yeah.
I think he's such a genius, and also hearing that he as far as I know, it doesn't do many drugs and stuff, which surprised me because I
Yeah.
look at his body of work and everything he does, and then I just had even more respect, like as somebody who's also recovering. I'm not sure if he's recovering or not. I really
Yeah.
don't know, but I just heard that he doesn't really fuck with drugs and stuff, which I respect the hell out of.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard not to do this. They're fun. Drugs are really fun, but they suck.
Yeah. What is it? You know, as controversial as it is to probably quote Louis C.K., but he has like this whole thing like, yeah, drugs are fucking so good they'll ruin your life. That's how good they are.
Yes, yes. Yeah, no one's ever put it better than that.
Yeah.
It's simple as that.
But so yeah, touring with Rob Zombie, I think that's got to be one, right? Like
It was
probably.
dope, man, and just playing for those crowds, for just doing the outdoor festival thing was just amazing. Like the thousands of people we'd play for. But I actually have a funny horror story about that as well.
Oh yeah.
My favorite tour, but also one of my most horrifying memories ever is
Oh man.
there were so Minel Symbols. Shout out to Minel Symbols. I love you forever, and they've supported me from day one through this drum journey and on tour and stuff.
Nice.
I love their cymbals. They're amazing. So Chris Brewer from Minel had set up a camera on my drum set. We were getting ready. It was changeover. 10 minutes before we go on, there's thousands of people in the crowd. I couldn't tell. It looked like it must have been like 2,500, like 3,000 people ready to watch us play. Just like, God, okay, here we go. Chris has got the camera set up on the drums. Like, where's the laptop? Where's the laptop? Oh, I grabbed the computer. And And not to say like we need the laptop to play, but there's a lot of songs that, I mean, we run off of clicks and we run everything off of ears and
Yeah.
stuff. So like you kind of depend on that laptop. You're going to have to figure it out. It's not going to be close to the same if you don't have the computer.
Right.
Not like we're all playing the instruments, but we need, we need those clicks to follow along and
Yeah.
stuff to make the show happen. Computer got rained on from the day before. It didn't turn on.
Oh,
So
no.
we spent a long time trying to get that working, but we ended up playing the songs that we could without the click and stuff. So it was fine, but just seeing like the disappointment, and you start to hear people boo, and
Oh,
people are
fuck.
screaming at you, and yeah, I don't know
Oh,
why I brought
man.
up I don't know why I brought up a bad memory from the tour, but I just it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah. No, that's
So
facts.
always have a backup computer ready, ready
Yeah.
to go. Backup of anything you can.
Throw it on an iPod like back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
iPod
use,
to aux cable.
We use Ableton Live.
Oh, nice.
It's nice. Yeah, it's cool. I think we used to use like Pro Tools and Logic back in the day, and we had a lot of skipping issues and
Yeah.
latency, and even with the solid state hard drive, it was kind of tough to really dial it in. So for like bands that are just trying to figure it out right now, I would recommend doing the Ableton Live route. Get a solid state hard drive. Just some food for thought.
Nice. Yeah, I actually, just for home recording, I was using Ableton for like 3 or 4 years, and I just changed over to Reaper. But
Nice.
yeah,
I've
but
heard good things. I've heard good things about Reaper.
it's cool. It's cool. It's not as like, I guess, user friendly as Ableton, or maybe I learned how to, track stuff on Ableton, so maybe I'm just more used to it. I just started fucking with Reaper like a few months ago. But yeah, it's got a lot of cool features and shit. So rad. So that the standout moments, you had like the good one where
Good
again,
and the bad.
the good and the
Yeah.
bad. We got them both. We got them both. So do you have, when you're on tour now, or have you developed like any kind of routine? Like, do you try and like do
Yes.
similar things every day and kind of stay in that like that rhythm?
Most definitely. So as you know, tour is sometimes not routine because you have no idea what life is going to throw at you. But when everything's going smooth and you actually, get to your shows and all that, which I do take pride in Born with Stars being overall pretty damn good about making our shows. Like in the history of the band, we did pretty damn good at it. And it's not
Yeah.
easy, but no matter what life is thrown our way. But yeah, as of the last couple years, I hear your dog again.
Yeah.
I just want to pet it.
After Corona, buddy, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, man. So let's start from waking up. Typically, so I'll wake up and like the rig is still moving. Let's just say like a United States tour, which is generally what we do most of the time. We'll be on a bandwagon. For those of you who don't know what a bandwagon is, it's kind of like a tour bus. It has satellite TV on it, but it's an RV. It costs a little bit less money than a tour bus, and you save a little money on paying your driver, because actually anybody with a driver's license can drive it, but we still pay drivers. But you don't have to pay that massive like tour bus driver fee, because usually they're a little bit more expensive. But so yeah, wake up and the bandwagon is driving to whatever city we play in next, and I probably have to poo really bad, like have to take a massive shit, probably freaking out because I probably ate a lot for the night before. So then somebody will wake up and text the group chat, "Yo, I have to shit. Can you stop?" And then we'll stop at a gas station maybe, or we'll get to the venue eventually. Hope that it's open. Sometimes it's not, so we'll park at the venue, and then I get a little backpack ready with maybe some face wash and stuff, because I'm not sure if the venue will have a shower. And I'll just start walking and look on my phone to see if there's an open gas station or somewhere I can take a shit.
That's a big part of tour that people don't know about, is finding a place to take a shit.
Oh, this is just the first 10 minutes of waking up I'm describing here. um, so, uh, so yeah, then the venue opens, and I'm used to headlining. Boo does this mostly headlining stuff lately, which I love it. It's cool. I like both. But so if we're headlining, we get a sound check. So we have also shout out to our amazing crew members. And we've had so many over the years, but we right now we have really really great crew members. And they so my drum tech will set up my drums. It'll be like Isaac Juarez or Zach Moser. We are have been two my really good friends. And they've been drum teching me for the last couple of years on and off. So it's cool. I get to feel like kind of a rock star and do my own thing and show
awesome.
up and look at the drums and point at them and be like, move that there, you peasant. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But no, it's cool because I've been used to doing my own drums for God knows how long. And that one day when I got to finally have a drum tech, it was like hallelujah.
Yeah,
hallelujah.
yeah, absolutely, dude. That's the dream.
So then we'll do a sound check, and then we'll generally do a meet and greet, so the fans get to just pay a little bit extra with their ticket, and we'll sign their poster, and we do fun stuff. Like last time we did this fun spinny wheel that had all these options on it, anything from like Joe Burris, our keyboard player, will draw you a custom picture, or like a blast beat challenge with me. We'll bust out a practice pad and you have to try and beat me.
Sick.
And like, yeah, pretty fun. Or a free T-shirt. A lot of the stuff involved free merch on the spins, and everybody gets a photo, and we sign stuff, and we talk, and we chat, and it's cool. Meet and greets can be fun. It can be awkward sometimes if, sometimes people make it awkward.
Yeah, we've had many of the Punisher conversations on this podcast.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's fun. I love it. I miss all of it. So then we'll do the meet and greet thing. And then we'll say goodbye, like enjoy the show, see you later, and sometimes end up being friends with these meet and greet people, hanging out with them after the show and stuff. Just depends on how the vibe goes for the night. But then wait around. I'll try and find a gym just to work out, shower, just kind of ease my mind, get out, and just sweat out all the dirt and the grime and the fast food and crap. the Jameson shots from the night before, and it's a nice way to split up the day. And then a lot of times we like to find like ramen. Like I know our vocalist Ron.
Dude, that's me.
That's you, yeah, man. We would be next time we do a tour. We're gonna go on some ramen hunts.
Oh, we got to do it. That's 100% me. Is like if you like go on my Instagram or my Facebook or whatever, and if we're out on the road, everywhere we are, I'm trying to get a fucking bowl of ramen. Like I got to do it.
Yeah, that's me too. It's awesome, dude. I love trying. I don't know. I kind of feel like we're on man versus food sometimes, in the places we stop are just, it's incredible. I mean, it could be like every day is so different though, and with the venues and everything, every day can be so different on tour that there's no predicting. And you know all of this. It's like you have no idea. You could play the most shitty venue ever next to a McDonald's, and then they chill by a dumpster, and that was your day. And then the next day you played for like 1,500 people at the Palladium in Worcester. You get to see your homie John Matos.
Yeah, there's a lot of ups and downs with it, man. But for me anyway, like before we went on our hiatus, breakup, whatever, we were doing like, I'm sure something similar to like you guys, like doing like 200 shows a year and shit. And then like just getting home, just that like screeching halt of like, being different every single day, like ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. And you just get home and it's just like stagnant. I'd get like like the post tour depression, you know, and like
Yes,
just
it's
like
real.
not know what to do with myself. And then the band went on hiatus, and I got anxiety because like, you know, I wasn't doing that thing kind of constantly, or like didn't have a tour to look forward to. And then like I can't wait to get home, and I can't wait to get back out, and I can't wait to get home, and I was just like constantly moving in my head, and everything just like stopped.
Yeah, that's where we're at right now, man.
Yep.
I'm getting used to it now, but I have a feeling that the creeping anxiety is gonna come back really soon. Like, okay, what am I? Who am I now?
Yeah.
What is my future? What do I do? You know, what's in store? So it's been a pretty dark 2 months. I'm not gonna lie. It's been pretty. Well, I don't know. Once I'm figuring out the news, like muting Fox News and really finding out what's going on,
Yeah.
I have just night and day what, you know, how I've been feeling. Like, okay, you know, just you get to figure out like how to problem solve. But
Right.
at first I was like, oh my God, everything is like, is the world gonna end like next month?
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
insane. Like, what? You
Yeah,
know?
I think you just gotta like we were talking before, stay positive, but stay cautious, and kind of just, for me anyway, what works is like stay busy. And you know, it seems like you've been doing the
Yeah.
same thing too,
Yes.
and that's
Yes.
that's the shit that works for me. All right, so we're gonna change gears here. I gotta ask you this
Okay.
because you know, again, coming up listening to you guys, me and the band, we saw this, and for me, I saw this and I was like, never. How? What the fuck? No way. What's happening? These guys are out of their minds. You guys did a fucking like a Cribs episode where you guys like were showing that you're living together. I was like, dude, I could not live with these guys. Like, I love these guys. I could no. Like, it's difficult enough being in the van with these guys. So what did you guys like? Was that legit? Did you guys live together or?
Yeah, so here we did. And there was actually another house that has not been documented after that.
Yeah.
There was another house that we lived together that was even crazier than
Oh,
that.
shit.
Yeah, we did so that house that was on Cribs was in Wheaton, Illinois, and it's a lot of people are confused, and I don't blame them because it was done so well. That was not that was not MTV Cribs. That was our friends that filmed. Shout out to Andrew and Zach and Teddy. Rest in peace, Zach. But
Rest in peace, Zach.
yeah, our homies, and they also helped film, and they also filmed the Follow the Signs music video, which was pretty
shit.
cool for its time. Like, we were a small band, and I thought the CGI and stuff. Zach's dad had worked on some of the CGI and stuff. It was just a fun collaborative effort from our friends that we met in New York. And
Dude, that
they
was so
filmed.
fucking sick.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, they did an amazing job, and they filmed. And my buddy Andrew filmed the Cribs episode and edited it and stuff. And he lives in New York, so shout out to Andrew if you're watching. And Teddy. They actually have. They documented a tour, the Thresh and Burn tour, but I don't think any of us want that footage getting out. So
Get canceled.
it's probably. Yeah, everybody's so sensitive these days. We might just get canceled all over again. But yeah, no, we had a lot of time, a lot of fun. That was some of the most fun memories of my life living with the band. But so here's why it worked when it did, because we were a blossoming band and we were all still very hyped on the idea of being a band and hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
We were in our mid-20s when you're still a teenager. Just add 10 to it. You're still a teenager. We all know this. And so it was still fresh, you know, but it didn't last too long before we decided, like, we felt like we were not making enough money to pay for the house. So we were
Right.
renting. A lot of people think, oh, did the record label buy us the house? And like,
Yeah.
Sumerian Records is an amazing record label. I can't say anything bad about it. They're incredible. But we did pay every cent of living there, and you can rent houses, if you just 5 people putting in equal shares.
Right.
It comes out to something pretty affordable, actually.
I heard that rumor, actually. I did hear something like that like
Yeah,
Sumerian,
I saw the comments. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. Hey, that makes us and the record label look dope. That's fine if people want to
Right.
believe that. That's tight. But no, nothing too exciting there. We just we're renting the houses, and I am so sorry to whoever rented those houses to us because we left them
no.
in horrible condition.
Oh, fuck.
You live and you learn, but
like no security deposit.
oh
back type condition.
God no. Security deposit? Yeah, right. But yeah, we also had a house in Naperville. It was cool. We'd have band practice in the basement, but it was a little much being on tour with the same people and living with them. So now I'm talking to you from my apartment, which I moved in with my boyfriend Sergio. You've probably seen me post him all on my social media. Maybe people are confused who he is. A lot of people think he's our manager. No, that's my boyfriend. People message me like, bro, who the fuck is that? I like confusing
boo,
people. Yeah, that's my boo. Yeah, he's in the other room. I told him to come say hi, but he's probably watching. He's being a little bitch right now. Sergio, you won't come say hi right now.
Damn, gotta call him out.
Gotta call him out. Yeah, no, Sergio's been keeping me sane, and he's been a part of keeping me off drugs and just things that I've, struggled with in my past. We've had, past band member call us out on that, on drug use and things like that. But at the time, that actually was not the issue. He was the issue. We made all the shows, but
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. But hey, I mean, I think it speaks volumes when you have four friends that have stuck together for this long through very, very hard, difficult circumstances, and that we've made it this far together. I think it's kind of easy to see who the bad apple was in that circumstance. Just think about it for a second.
You don't have to tell me twice, man. I've got some of that. We've had some of that talk before.
Right. Talent doesn't equal good person.
Right. And yeah, like I said before too, it's hard for me to even wrap my head around that kind of thing. 'Cause it's like one of those things, like if you're not a thief, you can't really wrap your head around how someone would steal something, So it's like that whole kind of thing, that it's just like how can a person be that way or say these things or like try and do certain shit like that to people. But anyway, so long story short, you guys live together at a couple different houses, and then I don't feel so bad that like I'm just feeling like I love you guys. Fuck no. Like we're not doing that. If we want to still be a band, we should not live together.
I don't recommend it. We got through it. It was cool, and it's funny to watch on the cribs. And like I feel like I'll have once every 2 years, a friend will suggest to put it on, and I somehow end up watching our cribs again, and I notice something new each time, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, people are still. Like, people are still watching this right now. Holy shit! What did they think of us?
I hadn't seen it in a while, and I was looking it up today, and it's got like over 1 million views. And
does it really? What the
does,
hell?
Dude. It's fucking
insane.
It's crazy, and
I mean, that's the kind of thing I can't watch. I can only watch it if somebody makes me watch it.
Yeah.
But I mean, and then I end up laughing. But
it was excellent marketing, dude. Like when I saw that, I didn't really know you guys. I was like, this band is huge. Like, holy shit. Like, look at these guys fucking smoking blunts and just like...
And we were not, and we are not. I mean, we've come a long way since then, but yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. Our our old bass player David, and still a dear friend of mine, his mom had helped design a lot of the house.
Nice.
And yeah, it's cool. Again, shout out to the band moms.
Yeah, that was a big collaboration there.
Oh yeah, there's been a huge collaboration with all the band parents and the band moms and dads, and just really blessed to be surrounded with amazing people between, the parents and the Sumerian Records. Shout out to Sumerian Records. They've been just amazing for us.
Yeah, shout out
And
Sumerian.
yeah, shout out to Sumerian Records. Love you guys. And every band that's brought us on tour, and it was cool. Like all of them. I can't really say anything bad about any of them right now. I mean, yeah,
That's awesome.
every band that's ever brought us on tour has been really tight. So tell your boy to
Johann.
bring Johann to bring us on a Gojira tour.
Hell yeah. So really quick, I got a couple more for you, but we just had Craig Smith join the chat, and I want to give him a shout out and give a shout out to Mary Sweeney, who's hanging out. She says, "Hi guys,
Hi, Mary.
what's going on, Mary?" Give a shout out to everybody watching on Twitch because we got the Twitch going on too. And someone named 100 Gold says, "Hey, tell Cam the homie 100 Gold says hi." So
Oh
we're
yeah, awesome. Yeah, he made a fun music video for one of my rap songs, and a lot of people are hating on it
oh
on
yeah.
the song and the video. I love it. Just bring it on.
Yeah, sometimes that means you're doing something right. So
I'm coming for that parental advisory sticker. Let's go.
I see you. So a couple questions. So first one is obviously you are equally, or I think anyway, as good at like all the fucking instruments you play and then everything that you do. So what came first? Were you like drumming first? Were you playing guitar first, or?
So this is I've got to say this about guitar playing. I'm not as good as my videos make me look. I'm just gonna be straightforward. I mean, it's studio magic. I can play guitar, but I mean, I make it look good in videos because I'm just trying to push my music. At the end of the day, I'm a studio guitar player.
Yeah.
And again, shout out to Kiesel too for helping me promote their instruments and making it possible. And I can't wait to do some playthroughs with the new guitar I get. But yeah, I've played guitar since 8th grade. And I use it more as a studio tool.
Yeah.
If you put a guitar in my hands right now, I'm certainly not going to blow your mind. You'd
You're
probably be a little disappointed, but I'm a drummer, no doubt. I mean, I'm 100% just a drummer, and that's
yeah.
been where, my authenticity in a live setting is 100% on drums. But I started with piano. So those are just the three instruments I play, and I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a metal bass player, I guess, but I'm not a bass player, but you know what I mean. I mean, I can pick some
Yeah.
metal bass.
Well, we'll
Um,
appreciate the transparency. But so when did you start playing drums?
when I was 9 years old, so I've been
God
playing
damn.
drums for maybe like 22 years or so.
Wow.
21 years, 22 years.
Holy shit,
Um,
dude.
yeah. Uh, my uncle got me a Pearl Export kit. It was like the drum kit was like from the 80s, but it was
That was your first
I
kit?
grew up playing just Nirvana covers, and it was a simple kit, but over the years I added a couple things to it until
A giant rack.
now it's just yeah. I mean, there's bigger drum kits. I wish I could shift the computer to show, but I'm sure maybe people who follow me and stuff have seen my electric kit enough times
Yeah.
already. But it's fun. It's nice it's made it possible for me to keep being a drummer because my real drums are locked away in a storage unit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really love playing piano, and it's a big source of my songwriting is piano, and the chord changes, and I just have a lot of fun even just vibing and writing songs on piano that end up translating into metal songs or interludes or rap stuff. But
Nice,
that's
man.
really that's really my heart and soul is writing is chord changes and try to pull at the heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah. There are few things as good as like some good chord progressions, man. That's really it's really what touches people. What are some of your favorite Boo songs? Like, do you, like give me three of like maybe your favorites.
Okay, so I've got to do it, but hate to say it, Follow the Signs is one of the best Boo songs.
It's a great song,
Jason
dude.
and Jason's solo at the end is fucking amazing. He's an incredible guitar player.
Yep.
Lee wrote the majority of the song, Follow the Signs. But we all collaborated as well and did some
Nice.
other stuff. But I thought between like Lee and Jason on that song, I thought they did such an amazing job.
Yeah.
And I was happy to come in on some last minute writing on that song. Um, I personally, I mean, if you want me to be dead honest, I think the Discovery was one of our best albums. I wrote a lot of songs on it that I probably won't ever get credit for, but
Jeez.
I thought I thought that some of my best writing and Lee's best writing was on there, and
Yeah.
Jason wrote one song on there too. Behold was incredible.
Yeah.
Although we couldn't perform it live, so it didn't benefit us too much, but it's cool, super cool. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's cool for guitar players to learn it and stuff. And I've seen a lot of amazing covers and Jason's really he's one of the best guitar players in the game, no doubt. It's really amazing, but
Yeah.
we kind of just butted heads too much. So
Yeah.
it's I would say it's too bad, but I think I'm actually happy with the progression of where everything has gone because
Yeah.
now with Newborn of Osiris, I think it's the catchiest songs and the most well structured, and
For
this
sure.
new album is the most organic and most collaborative effort we have as a band as a whole. This everybody is just full collaboration mode, and you can really tell we've all locked in together, and it's like the
Awesome.
drums the drums sound all organic and raw but still sick. Like talk about Gojira Magma, like that album, the
Ooh.
drums, I mean I compared them. I was like, damn, these drums kind of like the recording and everything is kind of like sick like that. Like
Oh man, I can't wait.
finally, yeah, this is my favorite Born with Stars drum recording. That's 100% true.
Fuck
But
yeah. All right, give me
um,
give me one more
it's
song.
sick. Okay, let's see.
You guys got a lot of them, dude. So it's
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Machine. I think
yeah.
Machine that changed a lot of stuff for us, and Lee wrote that song, the
Nice.
majority of it. And I think it's that was just a turning point, I think, for the band. Putting out Machine, and that was a make or break record.
Yeah.
We lose an incredible guitar player, and everybody's like, "Well, what will they do next?"
Yeah.
And it was pretty important that we had something that was just like a pit hit,
Oh
that
yeah.
so people hear that first breakdown and just go crazy. And I love playing that song live because I think it's probably one of the easiest Born of Osiris songs on drums by
Yeah.
far is Machine. Um, it's probably in the top 3 easiest songs, and so which equals super fun live. So just
Yeah.
pretend like I have long hair still and just
Get to
hair
take a
whip
quick
and stuff.
break. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
it's easy.
I've seen you guys. I can't even count like how many times I've seen you guys. And you guys are like one of my favorite live bands because it's always so much energy. It's so fun, like to watch you guys because you guys look like you're having so much fun. And it was something for us, in Abiotic anyway, to aspire to always. It's like, yeah, we want to nail our parts. Yeah, we want to make sure that we're fucking, you know, holding that kind of thing where we're staying true to all the crazy shit that we wrote, but we want to be able to have a good time on stage and put on a show and really have that energy. And you guys, like, without fail, every time I've seen you, I've always had
thanks.
that. So
Thanks, John. You're making me blush.
oh well, that's why I bring people on here to gas them up. So awesome. So last thing we'll do, bud, is our artist playlist, or AKA what's has been transformed into what's on your Spotify playlist. So what have you been listening to?
I'm
recently?
grabbing my phone. So it's I'm soon to switch to Spotify because Joe Rogan is God. But I have Apple Music, so let's check.
Word.
Recently.
Yeah.
Let's check what recently I've been listening to. I like just I'm sure like you and most of the people listening, you guys probably all have a very broad spectrum of things, of types of music you listen to.
Oh yeah.
But and not just metal. So let's just go down the list. I love Cane Hill. Cane Hill is super dope. 3-6 Mafia, obviously. Amir put out a really good album. Like, well, maybe that was 2016. 21 Pilots. Bob Moses is more like not dance, but how do I classify them? I don't know. It's cool. I saw them live too. They're really good. Into Infernus. Mantis, shout out to Paul. Oceano, of course, the homies.
Oh yeah.
M83, very dope. John Bellion is a genius. Just, oh my god, I don't know where to start. If you guys got to check out John Bellion, if you just want vibes, like. It's not metal, but he just writes really heart-wrenching tunes.
Nice.
Echopraxia, my buddy Austin Woodward, and we actually did a collaboration song that will be on my solo album upcoming.
Oh.
Yeah, so he makes some of my favorite metal, and I got to do a song with him.
Nice.
So that should be out later this year. Paris, PVRIS, is epic. This group called They, like THEY, check them out. They're crazy. They're like, it's like R&B. They like really cool beats. Mute Math, amazing. Chase It Atlantic,
Nice.
Shakewell, Entheos, love those
yeah.
people.
Shout out Cheney and Naveen.
Shout out, Cheney and Naveen, and they're doing the podcast thing, and respect to them, and I want to hop on that podcast sometime soon.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Manchester Orchestra. This is very, very good stuff. Paramore. I think we all know who that is. Borns is cool. It's B. I think it's B0RNS, but just really, really like, I don't know. It moves me. Brand of Sacrifice, sickest, heaviest metal band. Monuments. Abiotic. Shout out to John Matos. Let's see. I'm skipping over the obvious ones. I love the 1975. They're amazing. Nothing More. God, that band. I want to tour with that band. If you guys haven't heard of Nothing More, it's like rock but like metal. Just check it out. Nothing More is amazing.
Check them out.
I love Bazzi. Bazzi is like for if you want to get a little sentimental, get a little sexy.
Now's the time to do it.
Seriously. Emarosa is dope.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Rest in peace, Johnny Craig. Can't believe he died. So sad.
Yeah.
Let's see. Volumes just put out a banger. Attila just put out a banger too. Canceled was fucking lit. That song was awesome.
I haven't checked that out.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah, it's sick. Wormhole. Freddie Gibbs.
Dude,
Wormhole's sick. Yeah.
Freddie Gibbs too.
Yeah, Freddie Gibbs is a savage. Puya, we all know who that is.
Yeah, Puya's from
Puya's
my
sick.
area.
Oh, is he? Oh,
South
yeah, that
Florida
makes
boy. Yep.
sense. Hell yeah. North Lane, I really dug their last album. I think it was really cool. Dealer doing some cool new sounds. I think Dealer is kind of edgy. Like it's just got that emotion, kind of
Yeah.
ass beaters. Dealer's really sick. Trippy the Kid is a rapper. Is really talented. Trying to get him on one of my tracks. We'll see.
Nice.
Megan the Stallion, Denzel Curry.
He's from my area too.
Yes, he's fucking so sick.
He's the sickest, dude.
I know. Oh, the Japanese House. If you want fun, good vibes, and you're just sick of all the bullshit, and you just want to smile and you want to dance like naked in your living room, put on the Japanese House. So good.
Awesome.
Darknet. It's cool. Infant Annihilator. Oh my lord. What is happening?
Record.
Oh my god,
Woo.
it's so over the top. Infant Annihilator is fucking nuts. Poppy. Love Poppy.
Yeah, she's doing that fucking tour with Deftones and Gojira. Fucking
Are you
Christ.
serious?
Yep, she's opening that.
Or was that was the postponed thing?
Right, yeah.
God,
but she'll be on that tour when it comes back around.
God, it's so sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's just to name a few.
Sweet. No, that's a lot. That's fucking awesome. This has been super cool to like talk to a lot of different people and so that because I grew up and I was just like, oh, I only listen to metal. And then I started like getting to know people on tour. Like I think honestly one of the first people that told me that they didn't listen to metal a lot in a band was Mark from Vale. And I was just like, huh, okay. And then I realized later, like touring with guys like Terrence from Suffocation and like the Dying Fetus guys and pretty much everybody, it's like, no, yeah, everybody listens to all kinds of different shit. And you and me were in a bus bumping that fucking Ray Schmurder song when it came out.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Mark Akubo too. I know I'm not sure if he's still watching because maybe we went a little over, but I know Mark sent me some love, said he was watching the podcast earlier. So shout out to Mark. I love you, brother.
Yeah, shout out to Mark. I'm trying to get him on the show too. So I'm gonna be reaching out to him. All right, awesome, dude. Well, Cam, thank you fucking so much for coming on, man. Again, I can't say enough good things about you as a person and just again how awesome you've been to me and to the band for like 8 years now. So I can't wait to see you guys again and hopefully all this fucking Corona shit's over and we'll be hanging out in Worcester and we'll be at the Palladium and we'll get some more tacos and fucking I don't know, just bro down and wishing you guys the best on the new record. Hopefully that comes out very soon. Hopefully it comes out in the fall, just like ours, and stuff can happen. And Mark says I love y'all. Well, we love you too, Mark.
Yes, Mark is still watching. Yeah, shout out. Yeah, man, I love you, John, and thank you so much. You guys, I can't wait to hear the new Abiotic record. And thank you so much for having me on the show. I think this is just a nice, healthy way to kind of vibe out and share what's been going on in our lives with everybody else, because I think we're all feeling the heat, this Rona shit. So let's all just relax a little bit, have some fun, right?
Hell yeah, dude. So if you guys, for some reason, haven't heard of Born of Osiris, go check them out on all of the social medias, on the Facebooks and the Twitters and the Instagrams. On Instagram, they're Boo Crew. Are you guys Boo Crew on Twitter too?
I think we're just Born of Osiris on Twitter. Okay. But yeah, we're unfortunately Boo Crew on Instagram because we can't get the domain name. So
that's shot.
Yeah. Oh, well. It is what it is.
Follow Cam. Cam, where can they follow you and all of your solo and rap projects?
Yeah, just check out Cameron Losch on Instagram, and I can link you from there. If you want to hear my rap stuff, it sucks, but if you want to laugh, go check out CSL Raps on SoundCloud.
Oh, dude, you're a SoundCloud rapper.
I'm a SoundCloud rapper now.
It's amazing. Awesome. Well, thanks again for everybody hanging out on another Saturday edition of the Big Shred podcast. We've got a week of great shows coming up. Wednesday, we're doing Drusif Reynolds. On Friday, we're doing an Abiotic vocalist special. So Dickie Allen, who does vocals for Infinite Annihilator right now, will be on because he did some vocals for us for a little while. Our vocalist Travis, and then the OG vocalist Ray. And then on Saturday, I will have Brian Moore on, who is in the Browning, and he's also my A&R guy over at Ormsby Guitars, so we'll nerd out on some guitars. So again, thanks for hanging out, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace. Later, Cam.
Thanks for having me. Peace out. Take care, everybody.